We're talking two players today that maybe you shouldn't be drafting based on the injury risk. Maybe because there are other players around them that are just much safer. A.J. Brown still dealing with a hamstring injury. JT dealing with a quarterback problem that isn't going to go away. And Danny Dimes has been named the starter in Indianapolis, and this is not good news. Indy doesn't have a quarterback that's going to be conducive to the run or allowing JT to be enabled to be as good of a player as he wants to be. We've seen Danny Dimes do this before. AR5 is also, doesn't matter what choice they have, AR5 is also not a good quarterback for JT. AJ Brown is dealing with a hamstring injury that doesn't allow him to get fully unleashed, and the staff is waiting for the day that they can unleash him back into the wild. But you got to ask yourself what's going on when the word out of Philly and from Sirianni is working through some things. Working through some things is not what I want to hear about my wide receiver that I'm drafting in round 2 when I can get London, when I can get Bucky, when I can get players like that have no risk. Now, everybody has risk of a random injury, but so does A.J. Brown. Aside from that risk that Bucky carries, that London carries, that any player carries, that inherent risk of something catastrophic randomly happening, which he has, he comes with a different bucket of risk to his knees, the hamstrings. He's getting older. We're going to break down what your options might be when you're faced with taking A.J. Brown when you're on the clock. And everyone's going to say, oh, but he's efficient, or, oh, the Eagles are going to throw more, or whatever. But we'll tackle it case by case. And then, of course, Isaac Guerendo back today, which is good. Return to practice on Wednesday. Patrick Taylor is done for the year, so the running back room gets thinned out a little bit. Isaac Guerendo needs to be taken in drafts, upcoming drafts, because look, we love this kid, but he can't stay healthy, so where's the balance in terms of taking him? The Fantasy Football Show, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, as far as A.J. Brown's concerned, Sirianni doesn't give you bad news. He hides it. And the fact that this news report right here says, that he's working through some things, quote unquote, from head coach Nick Sirianni, kind of alarming, and this was the other day. Right now, A.J. Brown, to me, is way riskier than a handful of players going in round 2. And if we go through an entire list of round 2 players that are around A.J. Brown's ADP, so I'm going to pull up Underdog promo code Smitty ADP rankings, and we'll go through those rankings. But tonight, if you want to draft with us on Underdog, hit the link right here. I'm going to drop in the live chat. I'll pin it in the live chat. This link will get you 50% match on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000. So if you dropped, let's say, the minimum of 10, guess what you're going to get? $5, and you can do 3 $5 drafts. Now, got another report. Jaden Blue has been deemed as healthy, which is great because Jaden Blue got injured. Scattaboo returned to practice, which is good. So that's good. 2 players that we've loved all offseason but have gotten banged up recently, and their momentum got kind of stunted. As far as 2025 ADP rankings, or even if we're just talking about like a draft setting, not just rankings, when you get into that 12 territory, it's BTJ. Of course, you have BTJ over A.J. Brown, but everyone's drafting that because BTJ's got first round draft value. So almost don't even need to put BTJ. London has an ADP of 15. So the ADP I'll put right here, 15. London. And A.J. Brown's ADP is 18. So AJB ADP 18. That's a three difference is crazy. Like there's no way I'm drafting AJB over London. Never. Wouldn't even consider it. AJB, Brock Bowers, 18. Bowers 18. Taking that. I'm taking that. London. Chase Brown, ADP 19. Now, Brown's going to go a little higher in non-best ball. This is Chase Brown. Chase Brown, ADP of 18 to 19. I'm taking him over AJB. Bucky, ADP of 21. Now, he's going to go a little higher in non-best ball. So, probably more along the lines of where AJB is going. Achan, of course, you're taking Achan. Genty, of course, you're taking Genty. Those ADPs are higher. JT, I'm not taking JT. JT's in the same territory of 21 overall. Kyren is probably your saving grace. If you had to say, Smitty, what do I do then? Because Bowers will probably be gone, or I don't want to go early tight end. Bucky will be gone. London will be gone. And Chase Brown will be gone in my draft. Well, if all those guys are gone, someone's bumping down. It's not like everybody can go. So if you don't want to go Bowers, which is one saving grace for you, the other saving grace would be Kyren, who would be traditionally, I would say, in no ADP format is Kyren going to go after AJB on the regular. Kyren's ADP on Underdog is 31. In non-best ball, I would probably say it's around 20 to 24. So Kyren's your saving grace and Bowers is your saving grace. Meaning that I can't envision a world where someone could call into my show, and the phone lines will be open soon, and say, Smitty, I have to take AJB. You don't have to take AJB. And even if I'm wrong and AJB stays healthy and balls out all year, the odds of Kyren outscoring him or scoring just as much as him are just as they're very good odds. I'd say that a healthy AJB and a healthy Kyren scores nearly the exact same. If AJB's healthy all year and he's getting fed and he's doing well and he's efficient, Kyren Williams is almost a lock for 12 to 14 touchdowns. Kyren Williams is a safe play. Now, I mean, you could, in a sense, go a couple other players that are just a little bit early. So Josh Allen's a little bit too early. I think you shouldn't go quarterback in 2 unless it's 6 point per TD league. And you know that everybody's going to be consuming quarterbacks, and it's not going to necessarily be a devastating move for you because you're going to go with traffic. So all the players should, in relative speaking, stay the same. You could do that. McBride's a thought. McBride, I think, is a 2-3 turn player. I'm considering 2-3 turn players over AJ Brown. So AJ Brown, total avoid for me. There's just no world where I cannot grab a Kyren or a Bowers or one of these other guys. I'm going to every time. Now, the other topic at hand is JT, who's falling in the same ADP zone. So I'm just going to move AJ Brown over here and put JT on screen because this conversation kind of goes hand in hand. Super chats I'll handle in 1 second. Thank you for dropping those. JT has an ADP of, what did I say? 21. So a little bit of a different territory of player, and you could potentially see Kyren off the board and all of these players off the board. If that's the case here, do you go Hampton? Do you go Hendy? Do you potentially go McBride because it's kind of turnish? Do you go Josh Allen or JD5 because your league scores massive for quarterbacks? Do you go potentially Garrett Wilson? I say yes to all of that. Even Garrett Wilson, who's a kind of a, I don't want to say not a risky, a early kind of pulling the trigger, a little early wide receiver 1 in the top around 3. JT, I'm not taking at 20. I'm not taking at 22. I'm not taking at 24. I'm taking Kyren there. Kyren's gone. Chase Brown's gone. Bucky's gone. London's gone. Kyren's gone. Bowers is gone. And I take Bowers easily over JT. That's when I say it doesn't matter if I love early tight end in round 2. That's a no-brainer to take Bowers over JT. JT's a walking injury. JT's got a quarterback in Danny Dimes that vultures the football. This is not a good thing that Danny Dimes earned the starting job. And even if AR5 takes it back over, they're both vulturing quarterbacks. They're both taking the touchdowns away from JT. JT's a walking injury. JT hasn't been inside the top 10 running backs since the pandemic. Since the pandemic, we have not seen JT inside the top 10 running backs. And if I remember correctly, the last time JT was in the top 10 RBs, if I'm remembering correctly, let me pull it up real quick as I'm talking. I want to say like Cordero Patterson was in the top 12 running backs, if I remember correctly. Let me pull up the leaderboard for RBs 2021, and I'll let you know exactly what I find. 2021, JT, running back 1. And I know that was a great year, and I understand he had a good finish to the year last year. I get all those things. This year, Najee Harris was 3. Just to give you walk you down memory lane. You want to talk about he's been a top 10 running back before. Let's talk about it. When he was running back 1 back in 2021, Austin Eckler was running back 2. Najee was running back 3. Joe Mixon 4. James Conner 5. Leonard Fournette was 6. Leonard Fournette was a top 6 running back the last time JT was in this conversation. Cordero Patterson, running back 9. So, I don't really know what people are talking about. 2022, not top 10. 2023, not top 10. 2024, obviously, not top 10. This is a tough player to sell to me. You're trying to tell me that when Leonard Fournette, Smitty, was out there, this guy was a baller. Hey, Smitty, when Cordero Patterson was in the top 10, this guy was a baller. Like, I just don't understand. Anybody that's in here saying JT was a league winner the last time we played fantasy weeks 15 through 17, says Crispy. Crispy, did you even make the playoffs? Was he even able to help you at that point? This is not a player that should be in anyone's target range in that bottom of round 2. This is a guy that should be going where Kyron's been going all offseason. You want to tell me that you want to bake in the risk of injury because he comes completely injured every year. That's just in his his bag of tricks is always an injury. And then you've got no touchdowns. Then you got the offense never really living in the red zone on a regular basis. The touchdown opportunities for him to rip off long touchdowns is very minimal. He doesn't catch a lot of footballs. Does anybody think the Colts are going to be in a lot of games and just going to be dumping it off to JT? It's not like JT's a monster receiver like some of the other running backs in the National Football League that can weather the storm if games are out of hand and become matchup proof, situation proof. You know, JT's not necessarily one of those players. JT is a guy that probably gets phased out of more games than not. And anybody that's on the JT train because of what he did in 2021, I got news for you. They own JT in 1, 2, 3 leagues. That's the only reason you be in here talking JT up right now is that you own him in leagues. So those people speaking up right now sound loud. They sound very positive, but there's not a lot of upside here. Not comparatively to the other options on the board. Understand what I'm saying. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe JT puts it all together. Maybe AJ Brown puts it all together in 2025. Maybe they both play very well. Am I going to be wrong? It might just be a wash. We might watch the person that took the gamble and say, nice job, pal. You got the value out of it. Guess what? So did I. We have an even Steven arrangement here. You went and took AJB. I let you. I passed on him. You went and took JT. I passed on him. I went and grabbed Kyron Williams instead of AJ Brown, and I scored 14 total touchdowns. Now, maybe AJ Brown scores 11 and has 1,300 yards, and you'll end up being right. Well, so was I. And the inherent risk of a random injury, they both have that. AJB comes with a whole different bag of risk in terms of injuries. JT comes with a whole different bag of risk with injuries. Yeah, everyone's got random injury concern. JT and AJ Brown come with more than that. And there's situations you could say, what happens in Philly this year? Do things fall apart? First of all, Hurts doesn't throw for a lot of touchdowns or a lot of receiving yards. A.J. Brown, if people don't remember because of their Super Bowl win, this guy was a diva the entire year, and there was weeks where we thought he was going to demand a trade. So he's become a diva. He wants the damn ball. I don't blame him for wanting the ball, but he's reading books on the sideline, which everybody turned into some positive thing, like, oh, it's great, he's reading, he's learning on the sideline instead of cheering on his teammates. I didn't like what AJB did all year long. In fact, that's part of the problem too. The fact that this guy wasn't focused and he's reading a book while his teammates were out there working, that pisses me off. If I was a coach, I would have benched him. At least a quarter, I would have made a statement. You're not reading a book on the sideline. You're standing up and watching the men out there trying to get the football back for the offense so that you can get the ball again, AJB. And here you are not even watching their hard work. You're reading a damn book. That to me pissed me off. And it pissed me off that the world wasn't mad about it too. I can't believe people weren't pissed off like I was. I can't believe Sirianni allowed it to happen. Reading a book on the sideline while your teammates are out doing work. Not on my watch. My defense is cheering for my offense. This is what Devontae Adams said when he went to New York. He said it was almost embarrassing when he got there. The defense and offense didn't even care about each other. He's like, no one was cheering anybody on. It was the camaraderie was awful. Now, you lose an OC, things happen, and the Eagles are more likely to take a little step backwards. I'm not saying they have to be awful, but are they going to win the Super Bowl again this year without their OC? Probably not. Barkley taking on 430 carries is probably going to miss some time. You might say, oh, well, then they're going to throw more. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they can't. Maybe Jalen Hurts is going to not be the quarterback you think he is throwing the ball this year when he barely struggled to have 3,000 yards and 18 touchdowns. So, and that's enough to maybe go around, but it's not an oversaturation. 18 to 22 touchdowns is probably what Hurts is going to throw. Hurts will run for a lot. That's common knowledge. These two guys, it's more about the players around the two players. Dooney in the house. Smitty, let me get my shout out. It's been 4 episodes, gang. So Dooney dropped, I guess, some gifted memberships, and I didn't have my alerts going, and I missed it. So this one's for Dooney, the Doonmeister, coming in and dropping those super chats the other night. Dooney, I appreciate you, my boy. I would never not acknowledge them if I saw them. So Dooney, let's give Dooney a Jupiter. And let him cook.
Let him cook.
Dooney to the moon. Dooney gets the game ball. Dooney, you hear me? Dooney, you out there? All right, Dooney. Thank you, Dooney. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. I don't want anybody that ever drops gifted memberships or a super chat to feel like I don't see it or appreciate it. Of course I do. AJB, this next topic real quickly, Isaac Guerendo. This is a tough conversation because, there's so many other sleepers that go around Guerendo's ADP that we're on right now. And Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was one of them. Now Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has graduated, but what a celebration that one is.
Let him cook.
But there's still a lot of damage to be done. If we go over to the midseason monster board, which is a Marvel board, we've got to consider that this guy Jordan James is undergoing recovering from finger surgery. Guerendo's back in the saddle. So is Scattaboo. Brashard Smith is one of those. Look, if you were to say, Smitty, okay, we call Krosky-Merritt. Damn, did we call Krosky-Merritt? What are the next likely Krosky-Merritt risers? I think Smith is definitely one of them. Benson, if something happens to Connor, Benson goes into a whole nother stratosphere. Like, the most qualified players on this board are Charbonnet. This is like a second-year senior on this board. Like, he deserves to be out there starting, and he's sitting here playing with a bunch of people that are trying to climb up, and he's like, I'm already a legend. So Charbonnet and Benson are they just go to a whole nother stratosphere once they're in their team's respective lineups. Bigsby, Tootin, the reason these guys are kind of like confusing in terms of being equals to Benson and Sharps is because there's two of them and you don't know which one. Sampson still hanging on to that potential starting job. We'll see what happens with Judkins, but Mason is obviously really good but can't pass catch, so he's kind of like, limited but awesome upside for touchdowns. The Davis balloon deflated a little bit with the contract, but just know that Cook is, an injury risk this year. He's a risk for injury. Sharps, Krosky Merritt, but Krosky Merritt, love our boy Krosky, and Bill is climbing into, God, the last I heard from some of you was 7, 8, 9. I saw on my underdog drafts like all morning and last night that I looked at and partook in and drafted him. I took him in round 10, round 9, round 11, one round 13. So he's still kind of all over the place. But the consensus feel is that he's climbing into 8, 9, 10. Now, Bill is going to climb sometimes higher in non-best ball for some reason. I think partly because people are still grabbing more wide receivers on average in non-best ball, although it starts to level and become similar to normal non-best ball when you get deep into a draft. But I mean, round 8, 9 is definitely understandable. But if let's say, and let me put Krosky Merritt up on screen while we're talking about the monster. He's such an exciting player. Now, is there a risk of people overdrafting him? Yeah, a little bit, but at the same time, the sky's the limit here. This is like cellar dweller value still, around 10, around 11, sometimes around 9. The real concern is if Krosky Merritt goes out, if Bill goes out there and scores another touchdown or gets a lot of run. Maybe they don't run him a ton. I kind of think they will give him some work because, why wouldn't you when you're still trying to decide the pecking order? And keep in mind when everyone's like, what about Rodriguez? What about, look, I mean, even if, let's say, worst case scenario, Rodriguez and him co-started because Rodriguez earned it, that's fine because he's still earning his stripes. He hasn't done anything to just be like, hey, rookie, you weren't drafted to be the starter necessarily. We drafted you to potentially be. Just, it's your job to lose. Like, this is a earning your stripes kind of thing. Keep in mind that Chase Brown, back in 2024 last year, didn't do anything really in weeks 1, 2, and 3, and became one of the league's best running backs in fantasy football from week 4 on. Keep in mind that Jahmyr Gibbs was drafted very early in the first round of his rookie draft, and then all of a sudden didn't get used in weeks 1 through 6. Now, no one's saying that Krosky Merritt's going to the bench after all the hype and everything. They're getting rid of B-Rob. And Schefter reported today that Schefter and Rappaport, I think, or one of the two actually, reported that it's, and I think Dooney just dropped another 10. Dooney, appreciate you, Dooney.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
The Doonmeister has struck again. Brian Robinson Jr., according to Schefter and Rappaport, might be absorbing some of the contract to get rid of Brian Robinson Jr. in a trade. And if you've listened to me over the last handful of months since I've told you that Adam Peters is, whether you think it's Howie, you might think it's Howie, I get it. A lot of people have different opinions of who the best GM in the league is. So let's pretend he's top 3, okay, just for argument's sake. There's a reason that Peters is my number 1, but top 3 GM material. He loves his draft picks, and he's so good at using them. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt was sitting there for all to take. Adam Peters says, that's my guy. George Kittle was sitting in there late in a draft one summer. And your boy Adam Peters said, that's my guy. George Kittle's going to become George Kittle. No one knew who he was. They called him. He got into a police truck and drove out. And the guy was a nobody. He was a nobody. And George Kittle became one of the best tight ends to ever play the game, and that was Adam Peters' doing. Brock Purdy, Adam Peters had a heavy hand in that. Adam Peters responsible for all the big late calls in San Francisco over the years, walks over, does what he does in one calendar year. You can cite this, you can cite Howie, you can cite all these different GMs if you want. Whatever GM tickles your fancy. And I'm sure most of you are using your favorite team and you're going to talk about your GM. That's fine. I don't care. I'm talking about a guy that steps in and in his first year drafts JD5, knows what's up, drafts Ben Sinnott. We're just waiting to see what he can do. This Ben Sinnott kid might be the George Kittle. Now, Ertz stayed healthy last year, surprised everybody, and that's why Ben Sinnott hasn't seen the light of day. But make no mistake about it, Ben Sinnott came out of college as one of my favorite tight end prospects I've seen in a while. And so I'm really excited about what's in store for him once he finally gets unlocked a little bit. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, the moment they signed Bill, or drafted Bill, we knew that Adam Peters was onto something here because he was an exciting prospect with good film that got screwed on a red shirt technicality and had to sit. If anybody's looking at game logs and wondering, did he get hurt? Did he get hurt? There was a red shirt technicality, and it ended up being that he was eligible. He played one game for Arizona, and then he couldn't play the remainder of the season because there was a miscategorization during the pandemic of his red shirt year. So that's a little backstory on Bill. We talked about that before, as Bill's been on this midseason monster list forever. And all these other people are jumping on the train and saying, I know this guy. Let me tell you a little something about it. His name's Bill. Yeah, I know a lot about him. I just researched it right now. And I've been on him for 4 days. I've been on him. Once I heard the Brian Robinson Telegraph news that they were going to potentially move Brian Robinson, that's when I started creating content on it. And everybody's jumping on the Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt train, acting like they've been talking about him all offseason like we have. And that's okay. They can do whatever they want. We know what we're doing here. Dooney, thank you for those gifted memberships, my boy. But I forget what I was going. Oh, I was talking about how Garendo is somebody we need to start looking at again. And I'll be honest, I haven't drafted any Garendo the last month because he's been injured. And we're really at a point now where we got to start considering drafting him at a heavy clip again. But where is that at? And I pull up the Underdog ADP, promo code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. We're going to draft tonight. The link's pinned in the live chat. Here's the link one more time. Let's smash this link and sign up ahead of time so you're not scrambling to get into the draft. You'll be able to be comfortably ready to go. So hit that link. Use code Smitty. Links in the description of the video if you're watching a replay. I think just add to the pile, Smitty. We've had a lot of W's. Vader's talking about that. Just add to the pile of wins. I think that, look, Garendo. Let's see here. If I'm looking at Garendo's ADP, Krosky-Merritt's climbed to 149. That is quite an update. I mean, he was like in the twos, man. Garendo is below him, so that's obvious. Krosky-Merritt's above Najee now, above Rashad White, all deservedly so. But that's his first wave of updated ADP data. He's climbing all the way. If I had to guess, not to where Harvey is at 59, but he'll climb to probably where Jordan Mason is before long, which will be like 80, but we'll have to see. Yeah, Achane is another player to draft, in my opinion, off of the injury concern, because Mike McDaniel has already said that it's a calf injury, and it's not a significant one, but calf injuries are dangerous for players with his explosion, because that's how you can tear an Achilles, but doesn't necessarily mean his Achilles is even in danger. It's hard to know, but sometimes the Achilles is just vulnerable, and the calf is a screaming warning sign, but not always, just sometimes. So they're just resting him as a total precaution. And so Miami Mike McDaniel said it's a precaution, but Tex Football says, settle down. You know, this is you say this all the time because I think you say this all the time because I think I don't know, you jealous you weren't in here when we were doing it or what? Like, what makes you, he says, settle down, fantasy guru. You're not talking, you were not talking about Bill until now also. Does somebody want to tell him? I'll let them tell you. I don't care what you think. Honestly. Somebody could tell him. You know, it's people like that you just know are bitter. They don't have any Bill shares. They're so mad they don't have any Bill shares. So he comes in here. He's clearly in a room full of 600 people. Oh, 600, because there's 601 in the building, so he's the one. 600 people are about to turn to you and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, you just started talking about him. You didn't have him on a mid-season monster list all year long, Smitty. Sitting right there. You just started talking. Now 600 people are about to tell you. Dooney, appreciate you again, bro. Appreciate you again. Where were we at? Monty. Yeah, so he's climbing. That's where Bill's gonna climb, about Monty, above maybe right below Caleb Johnson for now. I think that's where he'll eventually climb. Brian Robinson Jr. still going to 89. You still do a draft, and you see Brian Robinson Jr. all over the place. It's like, why people don't know someone's taking him, and they're not even timing out. They're taking him like in the 6th round. So we get back to this topic of Grendo. Am I still taking Bashal Tutin over Grendo? You bet your bottom dollar. Am I still taking Keaton Mitchell over Grendo? Probably. Right now anyway, but Grendo still needs to be taken at a certain rate because this is a league winner. The only thing we have now is an added injury risk because he doesn't seem to be able to stay healthy. And so there's that concern. You just got to monitor the hell out of it. You know, see what he's looking like. Christian McCaffrey gets banged up at all. This is going to be Guarendo's job. And so he deserves to be on a lot of our teams. It's just there are other players that we need to grab as well. You know, Dylan Sampson, Jaden Blue's back healthy at practice. Trey Benson, Tutin. These are all just slightly better values than Isaac Guerendo. Keaton Mitchell is going way later than Guerendo. Those other guys are going right where Guarendo's going. So you got to kind of weigh out your options too. Can you draft 2 of them? You know, in some cases you don't need to draft Guerendo over, you know, guys like Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell goes another round or so, 2 rounds, 3 rounds behind him. But Jaden Blue and Trey Benson and Dylan Sampson and Bashal Tutin are going to go right at where Corey Krosky-Merritt's currently going. And then so you can sometimes get those guys and still get Grendo. But a lot of times you can't afford, especially in like best ball when you're drafting 5 running backs, to draft a Jaden Blue and an Isaac Guerendo. So, yeah. Some people, bro, they're just, you can see it from a mile away. Telegraph that they have 0 shares of a player that's getting hyped. Can you imagine coming into this live stream and saying you just got on the Bill train?
Take a big laugh.
Imagine thinking like that. All right, let's get to these super chats. Rock out, appreciate you. And by the way, if you don't like it here, because you don't seem to like it here, because I've seen like 5 of your comments and it's always the same comment. You know, you trying to play on the fact that you don't think that your boy knows what he's talking about every time you speak, then just go. The door's right there. No one needs you here. No one cares that you're here if you're going to be in here and be in negative space, bro. Super chats, day 27, Rock out still rocking as he suffers through an injury too. Rock out's on IR. He's still doing it. My Hendy and Ibuka for HN and Harvey. Give me, geez, I guess, damn. Chat, can we get a vote on that? Do we give a vote to the Hendy Buka side or HN Harvey side? And the injury is going to maybe make people a little skittish here. But we got to look at this thing in some objective light. It's a tough one. HN Harvey, HN Harvey, HN Harvey. I think right now I agree HN Harvey, but we could be another news reporter a week 1 or week 2 game before Ibuka becomes so good that in retrospect this trade was a home run, or this retention of Hendy and Buka was a home run versus trading them. Hendy's so good that you could regret this. Sometimes no trade's the best trade. Sometimes no trade leads to him offering way more, and then you do that trade. But I don't know. I guess I would say I'd be apprehensive to trade away Hendy. If, let's say, I had Harvey and Achane, it would also be hard to trade that away. Sometimes it's hard to trade something away, even though you would take it on the other side. I think Hendy and Buka would be hard for me to get rid of. Buka's potentially a top 10 wide receiver, not only this year, but of course for the future. And Hendy, to me, is a top 5 running back, dynasty-wise for sure. But appreciate you, and Smitty, we trust. I appreciate you very much, my man. I'm going to say stand down for now. Make them overpay for Buka. Buka's value is on the rise. Hendy's value is on the rise. Achane's is on the decline, and Harvey's is sleeping giant territory. You have a lot of leverage here. If you were to go in this direction, you tell him that. You say, Hendy's on the rise. Buka's on the rise. Watch me as I go into the distance while you sit here and wait for your boys to wake up. If you're going to make this trade, play off that Achane's a concern right now. He's selling you an injury concern. Not that I'm concerned, but he's selling you an injury concern with the player that's being talked about. Is he the starter? Is he not the starter? Like, how is he getting away with getting the 2 most talked about players right now and not overpaying? So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say go back and slam the door in his face, make him return with an offer that you can't refuse, and then bring that back to us. That's my advice. Because you're trading for 2 players that are going down in the news. Not saying I buy into it. Marvin or Buka in redraft. Marvin, I mean, you're getting a little ahead of your skis. Love our boy. But, you got to make sure you're valuing these things properly. This is, I think we got a couple of super chats coming in here. Chris, appreciate you. Never 14-man settings. I've never used 0.5 PPR QB completion. 1 point per 13 yards passing. I hate these leagues. I hate when commissioners make a league with weird scoring. How do you find content for it? You can't. It's ridiculous. I don't even know how to help you, to be honest. Like, I can't look at this and go, oh, recalculating the calibration of the gigawatt molecules. This means that I don't know. Pointers. My pointers would be get out of a league like that. My pointers would be, hey, get to normal scoring. Like, who created this? Let's have a league where no one knows what the scoring is. You know who creates stuff like this? People that lose and they want to have some sort of randomization. Let's get a league setting to where a guy like Danny Dimes or something can outscore a guy like Hurts, and then I have a chance. That's where this comes from. So, Rami, my advice is to not play in a league like this. But I would say 5 yards rushing, 1 point. You're obviously going after some running quarterbacks. But the completion thing helps as well. So, like, who is the quarterback that completes passes and runs a lot? JD5. Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson right now. Those guys have a little bit more value. So think running quarterback, and that does make JD5 quite valuable. My only advice I can really give you right now, at least, is go to the scoring, go to projections, not scoring from last year too, but go to projections and sort by overall player, and then sort by quarterback, then sort by running back, then sort by receiver, and get a feel for it. But my guess is that the quarterback sorting might be a little different than normal, and you're going to want to go off that. But that's the best way to approach this, my boy. 5 yards rushing, 1 point. Half PPR, any pointers would be appreciated. It's just a weird scoring, bro. But definitely think, Lamar is very valuable in this format. JD5 will. Those would probably be the top 2 quarterbacks. I mean, Josh Allen will still be very valuable in that format as well, but I don't know. If you give me some scenarios of players too, I can rank them for you, Rami, but I don't know what else to say on that scoring. It's not going to, ignite something in me to know that the league is going to do this or that I could find value here. It's hard not being in the weeds there. But if you find some anomalies in the projections, bring those to me and say, hey, it's saying that this guy's ranking here. what do you think about this? And then I might be like, that triggers an idea for me or something, Rami. So that's what I would love to do. Bring something substantial to the next question, and then we'll see what we can cook up. Is Jacoby Croissant Merritt good at football? Of course he is. And the Raiders named their starting QB yet. I don't know, bro. They're still looking into it. They're looking for somebody. Playing off of a caller that was trying to argue with me about the Raiders being so bad they don't even have a quarterback yet. They haven't decided who it is. $10 hauler from Jesse. Pick 4 after talking with the league mates seemed to be Gibbs or Lamb at 4. Thinking Gibbs, Bucky, Chase, Wilson, or Lamb. Bucky, Chase, Hendy. Thoughts? Gibbs, Bucky, Chase. I mean, look, I could go running back all day long. Wilson or Lamb. Not too sure. Not opening the phone lines yet, Mo. I'll open it in a minute, pal. Thinking Bucky, Chase, or Wilson or Lamb. I don't know why you're putting Lamb in here with Wilson. Oh no, or Will. Okay, sorry. Or, and then this is a break. Lamb, Bucky, Chase. I'd probably say Lamb, Bucky, Chase is a little bit better than. Well, it depends on the receiver, bro. If you think you're still getting a Garrett Wilson, let's see here. Gibbs, Bucky, Chase, or Wilson's what you're trying to say there. I'm not taking Wilson over Chase Brown. So I would say if you could get a Garrett Wilson and MHJ, somewhat of that caliber in round 4, then I'm going running back like I did in my league. And I love it. I couldn't have drafted a better team going RB. But it's hard to do. You just got to know your league. Going balance is a little bit better. And Lamb and Gibbs is a close call anyway. So if you believe you're guaranteed to get Bucky and Chase Brown, you're pretty safe going CeeDee Lamb. It is a very safe move. I tend to go RB round 1 because of the leagues that I play in, though. 16-team, 10-team keeper league, half PPR. Start 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 receiver, 1 tight end, 3 flex spots. I draft number 16, defending champ, keeping Nico and BTJ in rounds 1 and 2. First picks are 48-49 at the 3-4 turn. Who do you like in this range? 48, 49. I mean, with the keepers and everything, this is where, Hefe, you got to give me some names. You can't just expect me to know exactly who's going to be there because I'm not going to. I could give you a little bit better advice. In the territory of 48, 49 in ADP, you got Rice, you got Travis Hunter, you got RJ Harvey, you've got obviously Burrow and the boys. Like, I love all those players. Ibuka's going to climb in there. Who the hell knows? Bill might soon be in that territory. But Harvey, Debo right after that, maybe even. But Harvey and obviously Hendy will be gone. Hampton will be gone. Kyron, Breece Hall sometimes falls to this territory. People are scared to death of him. But I love Hunter, love Burrow, love Harvey. Those are some of my favorite players right there at that turn. But if you give me like a list next time, I can rank them. It'd be a little easier for you and give you a little bit more information. Appreciate your super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. 9th pick in the 10 team. If Genty and Achan are gone, I'm thinking London in the 1st, Kyron in the 2.2. That is a reach for Kyron, but I'm not saying it's not worth it, especially when there's keepers involved, like your next sentence. Bucky is someone's keeper, then yeah, Kyron gets pulled up, not a reach at all. If there's keepers involved, not a reach at all. Kyron is almost worthy of he is worthy of the 2.2 just because you can get him later. I don't do it. So that's fantastic. DTX is Kyron in a keeper league at 2.2 is fantastic. And you'd be set up very, very nicely. Ricky, thank you for that super chat right there, my broski. This one here from Salty. Salty says, Smitty, yesterday someone offered me BTJ straight up for Ibuka. I took the deal and then the news hit about McMillan's injury. Should I take a lap? No. You got, bro, as much as we love Book, you got BTJ. I mean, but you know better than to ask me this question.
The stack above all stacks. It's time.
Wrong button. I'm trying to hit my BTJ button.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do?
I mean, that's not even... Look, I know you want some reassurance because Buka got increased value, but yeah, that you can't even think this. You know, can't even worry about that. Love Buka, but BTJ all day long. Smitty, GOAT, thank you. 1 year keeper, 1 QB, 3 wide receiver minimum, 0.5. Keep Achane second, Neighbors fifth, or JD5 11th. Because Achane goes in round 2, I'm not keeping Achane there. I'm keeping Neighbors and JD5, and it's not even close. JD5 and 11 is insane. And while I would normally, like if Achane was in round 5, I'm not considering a quarterback, but you don't have an overwhelming second option in terms of cost of entry because Achane goes in round 2. Now, sometimes, you know, if you got the late pick, whatever, you have the 1.3. So you have the late pick down below. You said I have the 1.3 and I'm guaranteed one of Chase, Bijan, and Gibbs. So you're getting that player. You'll have Neighbors. You'll have JD5. That's the way to go. Now, locking Achane into a late second round pick because you have the 1.3, so you have the corresponding late second round draft selection. It is a thought to be like, hey, do I just put Achane in that spot to value? Still a good value. It's almost like a third round keeper, right? You could convince me of that. I could be very, very convinced of that, especially if you start off with, you said Chase, Bijan, or Gibbs, and then you get Achane, then you get Neighbors, but I still like the player values there at that Achane keeper value, the late second round. So I think you're still getting a Hendy or a Hampton or a Kyron or something like that. So for me, I'm taking JD5. It feels like a free JD5. Think about it like that. JD5 and Hampton, or JD5 and Harvey even, if you're just trying to throw a name there, right? JD5 and that player versus just that player, Achane. It's a win-win-win, and your team's deeper for it. So 100% JD5 in that context. KJ, appreciate you. 9th pick in a 10-man full PPR with BTJ as my keeper. Going Genty first, Neighbors, Nico second. I could go either way right now. Neighbors is somebody that I worry about higher, but this is a good territory for him where you're packaging in that toe risk. Crazy to take Hampton in the 3rd round and Henderson in the 4th. You're not crazy to do that, but you might be a little bit, your expectations might be a little bit wild to expect Henderson to be there in 4. And honestly, if I have to, I'm drafting Hendy over Hampton. But if you think your league is so grandma-like, KJ, only you know, and you can get both of them by going Hampton Henderson, then by all means, young man, swing away, Merrill, and do what you got to do. Because KJ, you pull that off, and we're gonna all quit our jobs and come work for you if you show us a check or a receipt of that. A $10 hauler from BBQ in the building. I watched and listened to the other content creators. They chase news like cats chase a laser pointer. How many of Smitty's picks have shown out so far? Yeah, this is Smitty U. Higher place of learning. Thank you, BBQ, for that wonderful message. I'm not even worried about love the show. Lamb or Jefferson, and London or BTJ. Lamb or Jefferson, I'm going to go Lamb because of Jefferson's hamstring injury, which may be fine now, but we need a good 14 days roughly to know that. You can't just say, oh, he went out there and had a good practice and then be like, he's done. I mean, he's not fully going yet, all full go. But if he does, let's say, go out there and he's running around and he looks good, there's still about a 14-day window where there's some recidivism. So we got to worry about that. London BTJ, dead even. Dead even. I lean a little bit London gold because he's not sharing a spotlight, and Penix is a cannon on his arm. Not saying that T-Law won't play well. I love T-Law. I do love him. I think he's a fun quarterback he's right like Bryce Young. I think T-Law is going to be Bryce Young this year. He's going to be a guy everyone can rally around. Liam Cohen's offense is magnificent. His game planning is amazing. His architecting is literally top 5, and so I'm excited about that. But London, if I had to lean one way or the other, Fields as my second QB is just fine. Superflex Mahomes, CMC, Bucky, Adams, Rice, Worthy, J-Mo, Agbuka, Javonte Williams, Luther Burden, Judkins, and I think he's saying Fields. I know CMC, he says. Look, it's a good team, especially if Fields is in there. Bucky, Adams, Rice. The players that I'm looking to trade, yeah, CMC if I can. I'm trying to get a Hendy. I'm trying to get a Hampton. I'm trying to get, and you can get more in many of these cases. Probably Harvey's my favorite target for all of you because he has yet to see a climb in value. And you could get Harvey and a Hunter. You could get Harvey and a Breece Hall. You could get Harvey and maybe a potential quarterback upgrade from Fields slightly. You could take Harvey and pair him with Luther Burden or Judkins CMC and pair him with Judkins and get a receiver. And I mean, Ibuka was, and you've got Ibuka, which is great, but Ibuka could have been thrown into a deal prior to the recent news. Now he's climbing like wildfire. Just it's infectious. Everybody's just Bill and Ibuka are just climbing the boards. But even though some people don't think so, we told you. Like the team, man. CMC, I'm just working that angle. Harvey, Kyron, Breece Hall, all targets to go get. And then depending on which one you get, you could ask for a second piece that's bigger or smaller, depending on the first player that I just mentioned. So Harvey and Hunter for CMC. Harvey and JSN even, potentially. Those would be very, very good targets for you, my boy. This one here is from Maximum. He says, Superflex 0.5, tight end premium dynasty, Dart or B, Bill plus Chisholm. If you're okay at QB2, I would take Bill. But if you're not, it's hard to say. I think I still take Bill and Chisholm over Dart. I like Dart, but I don't know. I like Dart. If you're hurting at QB2, maybe if you respond again and let us know, then we can debate it. But if you're not, if you've got two good QBs, you already know if you do, then I would take Bill. DJ is an upgrade for JT, in my opinion. More goal line carries. Disagree, Train, but I appreciate your super chat. DJ or Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes is Danny Pennies. And he ruined Saquon Barkley's upside. I mean, what more evidence do you need, bro? I mean, Saquon Barkley came over to the Eagles, the best offensive line in the league, and people had him in the second round, and we told you to draft him
on a shuttle to Mars.
In this Mars Man list last year. We told you to draft him to win your league. Saquon Barkley won leagues. Saquon Barkley was one of the best calls this channel made last year. This channel said take Saquon in round 2 and win your league, and Saquon won the league. Why did Saquon struggle in New York? The same reasons. Bad offense, struggle bus, can't get into the red zone very frequently, and Danny motherfreaking Dimes drained JT's value year in and year out. So I don't honestly know where you're getting your information from, but I appreciate your super chat, though. And I appreciate you. I'm not mad at you. Keep 2, 8, team, PPR, JD5, Amon-Ra, Kittle, Puka, Chase Brown, Neighbors. Thanks, Smitty. You got to keep 2. If it's 1 QB, if it's 2 QB, obviously keep JD5. But if it's 1 QB, I don't know, man. The highest drafted players are Amon-Ra and Amon-Ra Neighbors. Like, you kind of got to keep those guys. It's risky with the toe, but you got to do it, I think. Unfortunately, you know, make some trades if you can. But Chad, agree on that? Or is anybody throwing Neighbors back for? Yeah, I don't. Let me put that back on screen. Is anybody throwing Neighbors back for like Chase Brown or? I mean, for me, it's Amon-Ra and Puka, or I'm sorry, Amon-Ra and Neighbors. That's hard. How will Kyron score if Stafford gets hurt? The same way he did last year, bro. I mean, Stafford wasn't necessarily hurt, but the offense didn't do well at all. It didn't move the football through the air. So he had 4.1 yards per carry, but they just kept feeding him. Plus, Stetson Bennett's looking really sharp, bro. Harvey, Genty, or Hall Hampton dynasty. Harvey Genty by a country mile, bro. Not even close. Not even close. Have Lamar, Bucky, Genty, Benson, Sharps, JCM, Garendo, JSN, Zay, Igbuka, Hunter, Cup, Ingram, Arroyo, 12-man. Should I try and trade for an elite tight end and upgrade an elite wide receiver? I don't know. What are you going to trade? Igbuka, Hunter, Cup. I like all your players. In Hunter, Igbuka, I'm not selling Buka unless I'm getting the world right now. And Hunter doesn't have the trade value, so you hold it. Zay Flowers, you can maybe trade for a tight end upgrade. I don't mind that. Send Zay Flowers somewhere. Benson, got to wait for that value. Bucky, don't trade him. Lamar, don't trade him. JSN, don't trade him. I mean, if you could trade Lamar for like Burrow, you know, or Mahomes and like McBride, and you're doing something wild like that, sure. But, bro, Ingram's a top 5 tight end. So, unless you're getting McBride or Bowers, then you got arguably a guy that could be the third tight end, or the fourth tight end option after Kittle. He could be tight end 4. So, I know you don't need to upgrade. You got an elite tight end. You just don't know it yet. It's fine. Your team looks great. JSN, Zay Flowers, you know, if I could upgrade one using potentially Benson or Sharps, if their values go up, I think I look to that. But right now, your team is built to win and simmer. Let it simmer. You start trading some of those like Charbonnet pieces before they gain value, you're going to lose a little bit on that. So you got to wait it out. Your team is great, but the trade pieces are in waiting, which is good. They're just going to simmer. They seem to be on the stove a little longer. Hey, Smitty, been watching you for years, and I'm a huge fan. Thank you. For a 10-team auction draft, do you prefer spending big on 2 to 3 studs? No, well, 50 to 60 each is fine. But I don't like going in the 70s or the high 60s because I can just get, you know, look at Ibuka. Look at Krosky, Merritt, look at Buka. Look at all those guys that now are going to go for a lot more, but they still will go for a lot less. But those are guys that you could, you know, Debo, Buka, Hunter. I've been telling people to draft Buka as your 3-4 wide receiver. Rashee Rice, Hunter, Debo, all off season. And in auctions, we always, whenever we talk auctions, it's always Buka later, Debo later, Hunter later with one wide receiver. So if you get one Garrett Wilson, one MHJ, one JSN, a player like that, and you get Hunter, Buka, Debo, Hunter, and those are cheap receivers, you have an electric wide receiver room that's pennies on the dollar. Same thing with the running backs. I prefer you go after Harvey while he's still dirt cheap. Hendy's now going to cost a boatload, but Harvey is going to cost eventually what Hendy costs, and so you take advantage of that stuff before the draft, or before the week 1 kicks off, and you lose all that value. So I'm not opposed though to drafting. Like if you could tell me you could get Gibbs and Bijan for 55 each, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the 2-headed monster. You still got plenty of money left over. That would be a fun approach. So I'm not scared of that. I love that approach, actually. It's the best approach to try when the running backs don't go for 70. In my auction drafts I used to do, 70, 80, 85, sometimes $90 would be like Tomlinson. You know, or Marshall Faulk was 90. Tomlinson was 90, you know, out of 200. So you're talking about 50, 60. I don't mind that at all. If you could get the top dogs, that means you got a conservative group, and it is better to buy bigger name players in a conservative setting. In an overspending environment, so don't let the bids go up and you get stuck with it. It's better to go cheaper. So it depends on where that balance is. It sounds like yours might be more conservative, so spending big is fine. What's up, Smitty? Knicks, Purdy, London, Garrett Wilson, Ayuka, Mecca, Buka, Higgins, Thornton. Good team trades. I would say I don't. Assuming it's 1 QB, Knicks is fine. London, Garrett Wilson, and Buka's fine. I'm trading Ayuk and Higgins. I wouldn't even draft either one really. Chase Brown, Kamara, Hampton, Sharps, love the team. I'm trying to get Kamara turned into Harvey plus something. I'm trying to get Harvey on this team. I'm trying to get Hendy or Hampton, one of the Triple H and Associate running backs. I'm trying to get Hunter.
Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and
These guys are on the rise for a reason. 2 of them have already rose up like we've predicted.
Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Location.
Hendy's next. Or sorry, Harvey is next. Go get Harvey. Someone might say, I love Kamara. I like Kamara too until he breaks in week 10, just like Mixon did. And if he doesn't, then you're getting Harvey and you break even. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm wrong on Kamara, you're getting Harvey, you're fine. But I think you could get more, Harvey plus something, because Harvey right now is in the cellar. Hassan, and I think Harvey's your best bet. That is the player I want to target, if not Kyron. But I'm using Kamara to get, and if you got to give up more to turn Kamara into Kyron, you're going to have to. But I believe you can get Harvey and something. You know, Breece Hall's an interesting buy low too in some cases. But hey, Smitty, keep 3 players: Hurts, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, London, AJB. We'll trade out for his draft capital. Love the show. Thank you. The show loves you back. So Amon-Ra 6 is great. Neighbors and 5 is great. London and 3 is great. AJ Brown and 3, okay. Not AJ Brown and 3 is not great. It's good. I mean, it's where he go. Like, so we're a little bit past where he goes, so it's not a candidate. Hurts isn't a candidate if it's a 1 QB, so you throw that out. So it's Amon-Ra at 6, guaranteed, locked in. And while London's great in 3, he's going in 2. And so you have a little bit easier chance of drafting him back. I would go Neighbors and Amon-Ra, final answer. It gives you so much more picks above it to hammer home and protect yourself with the Neighbors toe risk. It's worth it. Neighbors is going to be, for games played, it could be a top 3 wide receiver for games started. Trade Burrow, Higgins, Achane for Lamb and Hendy. Burrow, Higgins, Achane for Lamb and Hendy. Have May at QB. Damn, bro. Yes. In a 1 QB, yes. In a super flex, hell no. But in a 1 QB, thanks, Brofist Brad, appreciate you. I'm definitely taking you're drafting Burrow in 4, 5, 6 sometimes, which I don't agree with. I think you should go higher. But you're getting much more value in the Lamb Hendy. It's not even close, Brofist. Smash that. And then you just try and, there's nothing wrong with May, but then you try and get into a Bo Nix. You try and see if Penix Jr. is available, so you have a combo at least. I just started watching a few weeks ago and already love the channel. The channel already loves you, Jordan. It already loves you.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Haters are going to hate, and that's just the way it is. And the new people are going to love what they're seeing and what they're witnessing here. Have another draft this weekend that's auction, and I like Chase Brown, Kyron, Hendy, and Harvey. And this channel solidified it. Fan, check. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications if you haven't, Jordan, and appreciate you. And hopefully you get a gifted membership, or you just purchase one and have the green name and all the emoji access, so you can drop the Chase Brown emoji over and over. So, and if you end up joining, I'll see it and I'll shout you out as well. But just for I think it's $2.99 a month, the $2.99 a month, you get that access. But sometimes they're gifted out, but then, you know, obviously it's going to expire anyway, so you might as well just grab it if you want to be dropping Chase Brown Harvey emojis. Everybody drop some Harvey and Chase Brown emojis so Jordan can see them. And Jordan Davis, you're the crown number 1 right now in the chat. Jordan Davis is a crown. Jordan Davis just became a loyal member on top of that right there.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Now, when I said everybody drop Chase Brown emojis, I meant Jordan, why don't you try dropping an emoji? Because he's now a member. Look at that Harvey emoji. The Harvey one's so sweet. Look at that one. Look at it. Thank you, Jordan. Jordan's crown number 1 in the chat right now. He's got the crown number 1, the highest positioning in the land. Unbelievable. Let's see. What's that comment I just saw? I got to put this one on screen. Bruce, this is not the Bruce. This is a different Bruce. Harvey won't have the volume. 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 How do we know that, Steve? I don't know. It just doesn't. J.K. Dobbins was brought in. That must mean something. No, I just don't think Harvey will have the volume. Bruce, you have no leg to stand on. All the evidence is on this side of the fence. You want to call in and argue it, the phone lines are going to be open in a second, Bruce, but you're going to get dunked on. 12-team PPR, JD5, Bijan, Kyron, McBride, Debo, Pickens, Flex, Coleman, Pearsall, Bench, Pop Douglas, Javonte, Samson, Dots, Love Show. Show loves you back. I'm probably trying to sell. There's not much to do here. I love your team. I love Bijan. I love JD5. I love Kyron. Love McBride. Love Debo. Love Pickens. Love the team. But like, if I could sell Pearsall on the high somehow, go get Travis Hunter. My target for you, Thomas, and it's really the best option. Debo, you say you have Debo? The volume. He's not gonna have the volume. He just, I don't think he's gonna have to. But the volume's what he's gonna. That's gonna be his bread and butter. What do you mean he's not gonna have the volume? What on earth would make you say that, Bruce? The phone lines will be open. In fact, the phone lines are open just for you right now, Bruce, if you want to call in and argue that. Not the Bruce. This is a different Bruce. This is the other Bruce. Did you say Debo? So you have Debo, Pickens. Yeah, Hunter's my favorite wide receiver for you to grab. Other wide receivers that make sense for a Pearsall, Javonte Pearsall, Samson Pearsall. You don't have a lot of firepower right now, but Pearsall can be traded. Part of me thinks, somebody could come in here and shock me and go, hey, Smitty, I traded Pearsall for Hunter. Hunter's getting a lot of negative, content created around him. Rashee Rice. I mean, can you imagine if you trade Pearsall for Rashee Rice right now? Wright, Pop Doug. I don't know if you've got enough firepower to do it. But Ricky's going about 60 to 70 overall. Buka's going 64. I'd rather have Buka, so obviously trade for Buka, but that might be hard now. Travis Hunter's going... Where's he going? Travis Hunter's ADP. So Hunter, Flowers, Pearsall. They're neck and neck, bro. It wouldn't take much of a nudge to get Hunter, especially with the negativity around Hunter right now. It's pretty bad. All right. Tyler dropping the $20 holler. Tyler, appreciate you, my boy. Tyler to the mother freaking moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Tyler, appreciate you. Man, thanks for all your hard work. Thank you, Tyler. I work for you. So without you guys, without Tyler dropping, a super like this on occasion, without BBQ dropping wads, without Dooney dropping what he drops, without Scotty Doo in here, and Dylan, and Thomas, and Owen, and Travis moderating, and Blackbeard moderating, and Sick Nasty, and Space Ricky, and DeBalt, and Vampy, and all my soldiers out there. This whole thing wouldn't be here. So, and more importantly, no offense to you guys or me, my mods or me, more importantly, it's the viewers. Without you, there's nothing here. I'm pissing in the wind. I'm talking to myself. Maybe I'm in a padded room right now. Sometimes that crosses my mind. I get so amped up and worked up, and I wonder if I'm just in a padded room and I think I've got a show. Just get it. I'm playing out the season. No wonder I'm so right this off season. It's all made up. I'm going to be 100% on the season, and at the end, it's going to be like one of those movies, and all of a sudden, I'm going to figure it out at the end. Like, there's no way the calculations make sense. We landed everything, and then I'm just going to fade out, and it's going to show me in a white room with a straight jacket on, and I'm just going to be all by myself, and none of this was real. Without you, I don't exist. Do you understand? Do you understand there,
That's
Tyler?
Cook.
Would you guys still take advice from me in a straitjacket? Hey, Tyler, I'm going to read let me move the mic. Tyler, I'm going to read the super chat. Tyler says, man, thanks. Love the show. Here's a 12-team league. Mahomes, Chase Brown, Gibbs, Judkins. You tell me if I'm giving the same advice in a straitjacket formation. My Army boys enjoy the content. Well, we enjoy that you guys enjoy, and I appreciate you. Tell everybody we appreciate them and what they do for this country. Army boys, appreciate
Let
you.
him cook.
I would believe in you more, says Dooney. I appreciate that. I knew a couple of you would feel that way. If I came out here and told you guys I got some bad news, I got to check into the mental ward for just a little bit, I think some of you would support me more. And I think that's amazing. I think you guys should see the creativity in that. Beautiful mind. You'd say that this guy's more dialed in than ever. He might miss a couple and he might be out there, but he's dialed in. He's connected into the fabric of this universe somehow, and we're doing it live. Mahomes, Chase Brown, Gibbs, Judkins. I'll tell you, if I get more comments like Bruce's in a few minutes, I might be checking myself into the ward. Volume. Harvey he's gonna have volume. Thank you for your service, Tyler. Everybody drop American flag or salute. Maybe you're in another country, you could drop a salute for your country too, or your flag. It doesn't matter. We're all humans on this earth, and we all should be proud of our countries and everybody that serves for our country. So drop your salute, your flag, whatever. 12-man, Mahomes, Chase Brown, Gibbs, JSN, Garrett Wilson. Like the team a lot. The only thing I would be kind of wanting with this team before I'd say, yeah, this is like the way I look at this, Tyler, is when someone shows me their team and I can't say that's the best team in your league. Like I can tell. 689 of you in here, hit that thumb up if you can. But also subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because we go live whenever news breaks. I'm live every day at midnight Eastern. I'm live every Monday through Friday. This is this show right here at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're live whenever big news breaks, on addition to all of that. So if you don't subscribe, you're going to miss out on a lot of these shows, especially when we do a random breaking news show like we did this morning, like we did 2 or 3 yesterday. The only thing, when I look at a team like this and I say, it's one move away, Tyler. And that doesn't have to be a trade. It can be you being vigilant on the waiver wire and landing the Ja'Cory Krosky merit like we've been pumping up so much, like some people think we haven't. Oh, you just got in a Ja'Cory Krosky merit. First of all, to the guy, I forget who it even is. I don't even remember who it is. It's already out of my head. But the guy that said earlier, whatever his name was, that I just got on the Ja'Cory Krosky merit train. Well, it's kind of weird that I've done, 3 preemptive waiver wire shows over the course of May, June, and July and August. And Ja'Cory Krosky merit's been at the top of the preemptive waiver wire board nearly the entire time. So you tell me how helpful this channel has been. Or maybe you haven't been paying attention. Tyler, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about whoever that guy was. Like, this is why I do this video. It's laughable. It doesn't bother me. But it is sad that someone can watch these preemptive waiver wire shows, and I think I've had 3 of them so far, and they don't understand what the point is. The point is you want to have Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Brashard Smith, Keaton Mitchell, Ollie Gordon, Horton, and Superflex, Milrow, and Dart, and Milton. And I admit, Dart I was not on. That's one that has risen up. That wasn't my off-season choice, player of choice. I admit when I'm not trying to say I conducted the Dart train. And I still have questions, but I like it. But this right here, Arroyo, Gadsden, Fannin, Ben Sinnott, these have been sitting here through 3 preemptive spread-out waiver wire shows for week 1 so that you don't come out of week 1 looking like a bozo. And we want you coming out of week 1 with the player already on your roster. That's the whole point of the preemptive waiver wire show. So what I was saying, Tyler, I'm sorry I got sidetracked, is that you want to make sure you are staying vigilant on that front, because that could be the only thing that turns this team into a freaking 9 just with one move without even being a trade. As far as trading, I like trading Ricky. You could be a Niner fan. I'm not sure if you are. If you are, that's okay. You can keep Ayuk and Ricky. But I would trade Ayuk or Ricky or both, and I don't even know if Ayuk's got trade value, if I could try and upgrade something. And your saving grace might be Judkins or Sharps gaining some value at some point, and maybe you don't even want to trade Sharps. He goes in your flex spot. But you could trade Sharps and Ricky, and you might even be able to do that now. You could trade Judkins once he signs, bro. Listen to me right now. when Judkins signs, there will be an increase in value immediately. People will say he's back. He's going to be. You could trade Judkins and Pretty Ricky for either a upgrade, getting maybe JSN or Garrett into a BTJ or higher, or you could just go after a London or go after a Garrett Wilson type, an MHJ, get a third wide receiver on this roster using Pretty Ricky and using Judkins. That's my final answer for you. That will be my focal point. I don't want to trade any of the other pieces that you masterfully assembled, so that would be my advice. Scotty, do appreciate your super chat here. We're almost opening the phone line, so hang tight. God offered neighbors for my Walker and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. You rock. God offered neighbors for your Walker. Yeah, you got to take that. Scotty, do at JCM. JCM has been the best thing that's happened to a lot of the people watching this channel right now. And despite people that missed out and that are jealous that they don't own Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt because they didn't watch this channel religiously, there are people making moves like this. You have no business having neighbors on your team, Scotty. You have no business having neighbors. How do you have neighbors? How do you get neighbors because you picked up a player named Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt? Walker doesn't sniff the ADP value of neighbors' jockstrap. And you have some waiver wire guy that you now can throw with Walker, and you got neighbors? It's insane.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
I don't know. This might be rumors, but yeah, I've heard JCM save some lives. The JCM call on this channel saved some lives. One guy said that this call might be making babies in this world. That's how much the missus is excited about the fact that you might be bringing home the league prize on this move alone.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Babies might be made. Babies might actually be made on this call. Scotty, do appreciate you dropping the super wad, my boy. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine taking Walker, who we like Walker's, friend of the show here. But you take a Walker and turn him into neighbors. How? Well, I'll pick up. Imagine in January, someone walks up to Scotty. Scotty's future self gets in the DeLorean, walks up and goes, Scotty, there will be a player you can pick up right now. His name's JCM Bill. You can't type in Bill. Listen to me, son. You can't type in Bill. You got to type in Ja'Cory. Jacor. Bill. You can't use Bill. Bill's not in the system. Just listen to me. Pick up Bill. Figure it out. You figure out who he is. Pick up Bill, and it'll turn Walker into Malik Neighbors. And Scotty's going, it can't happen. There's no way that can happen. I'm not listening to you, old man. And you get back in the DeLorean. You take the Gray's book, the Smitty's book almanac back to the regular time frame that you live in, and you smash. Just like Tyler smashing right here with the $100 hauler.
$100+ hauler. Smitty, Smitty. Everybody's pretty. $100+ hauler.
Let him cook.
Someday we're gonna auction off that Chase Brown bet. $100 hauler. Here's this. I know a lot of people here post that know your name. I'm a combat engineer in Georgia, man. Fort Stewart, Georgia. Appreciate you. I'm on rotation in Poland. Wow. And definitely feel alone sometimes. So thank you. Thanks for the moon trips, and God bless. Hey, Tyler, email me on thefantasyfootballshow.com right now, Tyler. Okay. Email me right now. I got a little surprise for you. All right, go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Go down to the contact button, click it, send me a message, and I'll help you out with a little gift. Appreciate you, Tyler. Thank you so much for the $100 hauler. Also, $100 hauler, you get to get your name put on any video. So Tyler, please tell me what video you would like your name listed, and every time we play it all season long, Tyler's name is sitting right there. So if you want it to be Triple H and Associates.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
If you want it to be London and Penix.
Seems to be the problem. I've been a little off. Can't seem to get things going, if you know what I mean. I think I have just the thing for you, Mr. London.
Maybe you want the house call handy video. You let me know what video you want. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you dropping that wattage. You're the man, the myth, the legend. We're gonna get you on the Patreon if you're not already on it. All right, so DM me or email me. 680 people in here. Hit that like button. Yeah, we only have 260 thumbs up, which is a good number, but we could do better than that with about 650 in the building. Dooney says penicillin. He likes that one. Did Tyler end up picking a video? I don't know if he picked one yet. Someone let me know if Tyler picks a video. Thank you, Rhino, for dropping that super chat. All right, I'm still going through these guys. Thank you for patiently waiting. Coleman Douglas, love the show. 12 team PPR, JD5 Bajan, Kyron, McBride, Debo, Pickens, Flex, Coleman, Pearsall. Yeah, so Pearsall, I gave that advice, Thomas. Thank you. Trade Pearsall. Try and trade Pearsall. And was it Judkins? Oh, wait, is this a different question? Similar team? My advice stands for you, too. I think I told you advice already. But I like the idea of like a Samson or Javante or, Pearsall, getting rid of Pearsall. I'm trying to get Pearsall for Hunter, I think is what I told you. Because they're just so close in value. My buddy wants his team rated, Dylan says. Okay, 14-man PPR drafted at 1.1. Stroud, Walker, Kamara, Chase, Pickens, Laporta, Myers, Warren, Shaheed. At the risk of this guy not wanting to watch my show anymore, I have to be honest anyway. It's not my favorite team. I think it's a 14-man league though, so you got to keep that in mind. That's a hard thing to build. But I do think I'm looking at Walker, Kamara, and Stroud, and that particular grouping just concerns me. Walker concerns me, especially if you don't have Sharps. If you have Sharps, then I'm a little more comfortable with this team. Kamara, I believe, is going to be good per start, but he plays on a bad team with no quarterback. They don't know what they're doing over there. It's going to be an awful year. And Kamara, like Mixon dropping off like double-digit week territory, Kamara is probably going to be amazing for 2 months and then he fall off. So I'd be vigilant to trade Walker and Kamara if you can. I love Chase and Pickens and Laporta, though. But Stroud worries the hell out of me. See if Penix Jr. is out there on waivers. I'd rather have Penix Jr. And I don't know if you can trade Stroud and get another. And I'm not saying Stroud's trash, but I just don't trust him right now. Drafted at the 1.1. You took Jamar Chase. Okay. The other option for you, bro, is to take Chase and divide him and conquer. Divide him into a BTJ and Harvey, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're balling. Divide him into a London and Harvey. Harvey would be my target for you, Dylan, or Dylan's friend, and figure that out that way, because I think the team's good, but you might be better off trading Chase into 2 players. Salute the troops and shout out to Ron and my other Navy men and women, says Brofist Brad. Thank you, Brofist. Appreciate you doing that, dropping that second wad on screen. And Brofist, per usual, Brofist Brad, any $20 haulers, you let me know. Go straight to the camera like old times. But I appreciate everything you're dropping, bro. You're still getting a Brofist here. Got 9th pick, 12-man PPR. My strategy, first 7 rounds, I'm trying to go BTJ, London, Walker, Hendy, Harvey, Igbuka, Flowers, Dots. Draft is in 20 minutes. Sorry if the time has already flown by. BBQ dropping 50 gifted memberships. BBQ dropping 50 gifted memberships.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Tyler just upgraded the priority comments. Tyler, I assume Tyler's emailed me. I'm going to email you back, bro. We're going to get you on the Patreon. You're saying you're kind of alone and you know, it's kind of probably lonely in Poland. I'm going to get you on the 24/7, 365 live chat Patreon, okay? We're going to get you on there. Your boy's on there throughout the day. I'm on there like when I get off a show. So my time, a lot of times like midnight Eastern, we're hanging out on there still, and that might jive with your Poland time frame. So that's how we're going to hook you up, pal. And he just upgraded to the priority membership. Thank you, Tyler. Got the 9th pick in a 12-man PPR. My strategy in the first 7 rounds, I'm trying to go BTJ, London, Walker, Hendy. I'm going to say the same thing. I love Walker, bro, but make sure you get Sharps if you go this direction. I think you'd be hard-pressed to get Hendy in 4. So for me, I'm going to take Hendy instead of Walker, and then that probably opens the door to some other player. And other than that, I like the plan of attack, but also stay loose and liquid, bro. Don't necessarily, cement yourself into a wide receiver approach, because you could end up regretting forcing yourself and putting yourself in a box. Make sure you're not passing on Bucky, Achan. Achan's still a great value, but BTJ and London and Hendy and Harvey and even like Hampton potentially, or a running back like Kyron would be amazing if you get him instead of Walker. If Kyron's not there, then I still love Hendy in the 3rd. Or you could go quarterback there. If you believe you truly can get Hendy in 4, go JD5. Go BTJ, London, JD5, Hendy, Harvey, Ibuka. And Flowers, take him if you want. He's not, necessarily my favorite player this year. And Lamar doesn't really produce top 20 wide receivers, but he's still a good player. We loved Flowers. He was a moon man one time. 12-man PPR, QB, Daniels, Achan, Mason, ETN, Benson, Judkins, JCM, McBride. Then you got BTJ, Hunter, Ridley, Debo. Love the team. Probably looking to maybe upgrade Mason or ETN or Benson or Judkins. And same advice applies to you, bro. The moment Judkins signs, use that to your advantage. People will be all over it. There'll be news everywhere. Judkins to the moon. Judkins is the next Bucky. People have so many shares. They're very loud. All it's coming from are current or perspective, because they've settled on wanting to draft Judkins for some reason. But current Judkins owners are the ones making this noise. And bro, you can literally just clean up on a trade at the Harvey level. Judkins and maybe and I know Ridley's a good value, but I'm taking Harvey. You need a running back. Harvey would be perfect for this team. Kyron would be perfect for this team. So smash the hell out of that idea and concept, and you're on your way to a 8.5, just a team that I could look at and say that team's going to win the league. $50 hauler. I definitely struggle a lot. It means a lot just to be heard. That goes with everyone. But God has a plan, and I want to win championships. Any video will do, my man, but I just wanted to show appreciation. I sent an email, just whatever you see. Bro, I want to get you on the Patreon because you have that group chat now. You have that family. Here, you know what? I'm going to send it right now while I'm live. I want to get you on the Patreon right now while we're on the live stream. I want to see that you actually on it. So let me go and find that real quickly. Let me get that Patreon set up for you. I'm going to send you a link right now, and I want to get you on the Patreon. Let's see if I can grab this. Where is that at? All right, here it is, bro. I'm going to send it to you right now. Let me open up my email and send it to you. Here we go. Where is it at? Okay, I'm still waiting for the email to come through. It's possible that it's on the way. Hold on a second. I'll keep checking. I'll send it to you while we're on the live stream, and then we'll get you on the Patreon. And I actually want to see you on the Patreon, bro. You just click it, fill it out real quickly, and then boom, you'll be in. So appreciate you. $50 hauler, my man.
Give me $50 holler.
And what else great about the Patreon, bro? It's a live chat. You know the YouTube live stream right here? It's basically all these people here on a 24/7, 365 live chat group. So that's all the Patreon is. It's just a 24/7, 365 live chat group that I live on the app. Travis is on the app constantly. Our mods are on the app constantly. You can be on the app constantly. Anytime you just want to ask, a question, even if you want to just talk about movies, we do that stuff too. Hey, What do you guys eat on Sundays? Anything you want, bro. You now have a group chat. You know, you're out there by yourself in Poland. You now have a group chat 24/7. You now have it. I'm giving you access the whole year, my boy. Appreciate you for dropping the super chats, and we're glad to have you. Tell the Army boys we said hey too. All right. Appreciate you. $50 haul. Let's put him on a video in a second. Let me answer the rest of these super chats, then I'll keep checking the email, and then we'll open the phone lines. Gus. Hi, big fan of the show. My team is Mahomes, Genty, Hall, St. Brown, Harrison, and Rice. And BBQ, thanks so much for the 50 gifted memberships, you monster. BBQ to the mother freaking moon. BBQ.
Let him cook.
BBQ is such a stud. Mahomes, Genty, Hall, St. Brown, Harrison, Rice, Bench, Braylon Allen, ETM, Sampson, JCM, Golden, and McMillan. If I'm you, I'm waiting on this. I don't trade anything that you have, unless I'm going to upgrade Hall, but you might need to wait, bro. You might need to wait for Hall to gain some value. You know, if you're going to trade him at all. Just let him, and he might even be somebody you don't want to trade later. But JCM and Golden, I wonder if you could do something with that now and just kick tires. And I don't want you trading JCM, but it's, you know, it's hidden value here, my boy. So I'd probably say pick some tires, see what you can get. Go after Harveys, go after Hunters. Very, very solid opportunities await for you with the JCM value that is now here. Brofist, Brad. Not trying to self-promote on Smitty's channel, but DM me too, Tyler. I recently founded a nonprofit to support veterans and mental health through fitness and community. Active duty veteran, all brothers, and no fights alone. No one fights alone. If you're interested, let me know in an email, and then Brad you can email me too, and then I can try and connect you too. But anyway, thank you for the $20 hauler, Brofist Brad to the mother freaking moon. Brofist, appreciate you, my boy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Brofist Brad getting his Brofist. My boy. Final super chat, then open phone lines. Drop Bigsby for Tootin. If I had to, I don't know if I could do that. Drop your kicker. You got to buy yourself more time. You need both of these guys. You might drop the wrong one. Bigsby might start the season. Also in a keeper league, keeping London in the 9th or BTJ in round 13. BTJ round 13 probably. However, 9th round you're getting so deep into the weeds, it almost doesn't matter. If you guys, do you keep London in 9 or BTJ in 13? I think BTJ in 13. The value is huge with BTJ, but I feel London is going to ball out this year. I feel that. That's the way I feel too, but is he worth the extra 4 rounds? I guess if it climbs up every year, then yes. If it stays put and it's unlimited right in that territory every year, the rounds might not matter. So if you want London, trust your gut, bro, and go London. But if they climb rounds each year, then you want to take that extra lead time that you have on the values. That is the final super chat. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I don't know why I'm not seeing that email yet. Are you sure you sent it, Tyler? Send it to Smitty at that domain. See if that'll work, if you don't mind. Caller 954. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's my name's Kirsten. I'm calling from Tampa, Florida.
All right, Kirsten, hold on one second. Let me merge this call in real quickly. Mute yourself, caller, if you don't mind. Mute yourself, caller, if you don't mind. And I'll be right with you, but please mute. And then this last call right here. Mute yourself, caller, and I'll be right with you, okay? Okay, I'm sorry. The guy I was talking to a minute ago, you said Kirsten? What is it? What is it? What is it? What's your name, bro? Oh, hold on. Let me merge this call. Everybody mute yourself, but the guy I was talking to Please mute yourself. Who was the guy I was just talking to? You said you're from where? Broski? The guy from Kirsten, or what was your name? Call back if it hung up on you. I'm sorry, bro. I could have swore I had the caller still on hold. Call back if I messed that up, bro. Travis, you're live.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, with JT, like, I see all these other, places on Twitter and creators saying JT's value is like goes up for sure now with Daniel Jones. And,
yeah, I don't know if I agree with that at all. I mean, I don't agree.
He said Saquon's the perfect example because Daniel Jones is no better than he was in New York. He's still missing throws, and you're still going to see flashes where he's makes decent throws, but
he limits the offense.
And right, and then with JT, there's just so many better, safer options. And yes, he was fantastic at the end of last year, but those last 5 games, he was on a 482 carry pace. Like, that's not going to happen. It's not sustainable. He will break down. And even if you take that away and just go from when he came back from the injury, he was on a 390 carry pace. So, I mean, that's insane too. So, like, if you just put all those things together, it's like, I don't know, especially where you have to take him in the second round. I don't know how you can touch him.
Yeah, I'm even thinking about putting him on planet Uranus just so that, people really understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, he was doing really good at the end of the year. There's no doubt about it. But you can't just keep taking, like, hey, he was so great down the stretch. He was a monster down the stretch. Let's extrapolate it out. I mean, it's kind of alarming that he hasn't been a top 10 running back since Cordero Patterson and Leonard Fournette were in the top 10 running backs. That's crazy. I mean, that seems like a decade ago. I know it wasn't, but it seems like a decade ago.
Yeah, and people might even say, oh, well, if he played the full year, maybe he would have been, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's one of the problems is to get into that top 10, you have to have the games played, too. That matters in fantasy.
Well, my question would be to anybody that's in favor of Danny Dimes and JT that does not, first of all, there's probably not one person out there that exists. Anybody that loves Danny Dimes starting for the Colts has JT. And so anybody that has JT that's supporting this, I would love to know what on earth you think that Danny Dimes brings to the table, because I don't even know what makes you think that this would be positive. JT was ruined by a bad team, which is what the Colts are, a bad team mixed with the fact that Danny Dimes vultures. Danny Dimes doesn't, he's not going to move this football down the field and he's not going to get in the red zone more often than a good quarterback would. So JT's going to have to live on the long touchdowns in terms of touchdown production. I just don't even understand. Barkley was wasting away. Barkley was so wasting away in New York that when he landed on Philly, on the Philly roster, he was a second round pick and we were forced to put him on the Marsman list. He was a Marsman list. He was a league winner. We told everyone to draft Barkley. People won leagues off of the advice. And that's how bad Danny Dimes was, and mixed with New York. And Indy's no different than New York. Indy and New York are both bare bones rosters that don't have the talent and maybe not even the coaching. Look, Daboll you think he's good? Is he good? He's a quarterback whisperer, but is he? And Shane Steichen, a quarterback whisperer, is he? I mean, it's so ironic that Shane Steichen makes Jalen Hurts, Daboll makes Josh Allen. They both go elsewhere and do nothing. They're not doing anything. They're making bad decisions with their quarterbacks. Not to mention, both of them are going for Danny Dimes. Like, Daboll chose Danny Dimes. They give him a long-term contract, decided not to bring Barkley back, and Daboll picks the wrong. Everything's wrong about what Daboll's done. And Joe Scheinbach, except for drafting Neighbors. And then now all of a sudden you have Danny Dimes go over to Shane Steichen, and that's what Shane Steichen wants? I mean, are these guys really good? Probably not. Maybe their supporting cast is why these quarterbacks rose up.
And Richardson had a pretty good camp, too. And I mean, I'm okay if they want to take it slow with him, whatever. But the other thing with Richardson, I hear a lot of is like, oh, well, Danny Dimes would be better because Richardson's running takes away from JT. But I would argue with that because it's like, and I get it's a different situation on a different level, but that would be like saying when Henry went to the Ravens, oh, Henry's going to be worse with Lamar because Lamar runs a lot. That's not always the case. It opens up more room for runners, too.
By the way, Tyler is such a stand-up guy. He just joined the Patreon anyway. He just Tyler, I'm going to put a message in the general at Tyler. Welcome. In there, I don't know if you see that. If you click on it, you can basically the way the Patreon is going to work is everybody just you create a topic and then everybody clicks on it and then you embed the commentary under it so that it stays organized. And then if you want to create your own topic outside of it, you just do that. It's as simple as it is. It's 24/7, 365 live chat group. You can ask trade advice. I'm gonna email you right now or message you right now on there. And just please check the DM from me right now. Let me see if I can, let me go in there and send you a message. I'm going to send you something, pal. I appreciate you signing up already, but I want you, let's see, where you at? Tyler's the man. Let me find you here, Tyler. Hold on one second. Tyler. There it is. All right, Tyler, I'm sending you a message right now. Or I'm gonna send you an email if that's okay. I'm gonna send you an email. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to send this to Tyler. We got 649 of you in the building. Travis, what else you got, real quickly, before I move around the phone line?
Go to the next caller.
Okay, let's go over to caller. Let's see here. Let's go over to Michael. Michael, you're live. Michael? Okay.
I'm Chris.
Okay. Chris, is Michael maybe your pops or something? I don't know. What are we doing here, guys?
Hey, I'm the one that got dropped off earlier. I'm Kirsten.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. What can I do for you, bro?
Hey, so I got a couple of things. First thing I want to start off with, in my Homer League, I think I sent you a super chat yesterday and you rated it. So I was able to pick up, I have Brian Robinson Jr. You were telling me to basically try to get a trade off with T. Higgins, Brian Robinson, and I have cross scheme right now too. So I'm trying to figure out what I can even do. I know it's kind of early, the season hasn't even started yet, but I don't know how I could get that off. So I'm trying to figure out what I could. I tried to get Garrett Wilson, it didn't work out, and I also tried to get I think Drake London, and I haven't gotten a response yet. So.
All right, so give me the total. Give me the total trade, bro.
Let me see the trades that I have out right now. T. Higgins for Egbuka, and I got Joe Mixon. That's what it was. Joe Mixon and T. Higgins for Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah,
T. Higgins for McConkey.
Yeah, you got T. Higgins and Joe Mixon. You're probably not going to get that. Those are good attempts. I mean, you might have to settle for like Harvey, Travis Hunter, maybe a JSN, maybe a DK Metcalf, maybe an MHJ if you're lucky. But I just don't know if you're going to see the value in that. That's hard to say. Or someone's going to see the value in that. That's going to be a very, very tall order for you to pull that up. Even like, I'm sorry, what? Mm-hmm. Tyler, I sent you an email. Just click that link. I'm sorry?
Yeah, any chance you want me to keep him by any chance, or no matter what, just try to get rid of him?
Joe Mixon?
No, T. Higgins.
Oh, you could keep. I mean, he's a good player. I don't hate T. Higgins, but I think Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, you're gonna have to go slightly above T. Higgins and try and get a different player. So T. Higgins, who's right above T. Higgins? T. Higgins in best ball goes a lot higher than T. Higgins in non-best ball. But T right now is above MHJ, above JSN, above Harvey, was above Hendy, and that's not the case anymore. So, but Harvey's eventually going to be that guy. So I'm definitely interested in trying to get Harvey. I'm trying to get a player of that caliber using T. Higgins, but that's me. I would take Hunter and something. I think Hunter's lower value than T. So you should be able to get, do some sort of creative 2-for-2. Mixon and T. Higgins for Hunter and something. But if you do put Mixon in there, I think you can climb a little bit, get Garrett Wilson. Climb a little bit, get MHJ. Maybe get JSN. But that's what I would do. I don't think T. Higgins is worth the value that people paid for him. Where did you draft him? Round 3?
Yeah, it was about round 3.
Yeah, I just don't. I know Burrow's great. I know that a number 2 on an offense like that can still be more valuable in some cases than number 1s on a bad offense. But I still think T. Higgins was way overdrafted and continues to be way overdrafted. He's always hurt. Last year, he's like wide receiver, like 15 or 17 or something like that. And I know it's because he missed games, but that's part of the problem. He's so good in spike week, in best ball environments, though. Like, I admit I've taken him at the 2-3 turn to stack with Chase and Burrow at times. But it doesn't always feel great to do it.
Yeah, I got him. I basically got him at the end. I had the 12th last pick of my draft, so I got him basically at the beginning of the 4th.
It's not bad value, but you throw Mixon in and you just wonder how high can you climb. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying to get rid of him for pennies on the dollar. I'm not saying I don't like him at all. I just think that, there's definitely a world where you want to probably try and
then another question.
Get an upgrade.
So for my main league, this is the one I actually put money in at work. Those dudes are pretty competitive. So I'm wondering, how high do you think I should be willing to jump up to try to get Ibuka? I was getting him in mock drafts at like round 8 or 9 before. I feel like I'm gonna have to go all the way up to like maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, tough to say, bro, because we're now looking at like, this is where I got him about a week ago. So 10.9 in a 10 man, and just this is the only buddy league I have an example of. That's why I keep showing it, because I drafted in a ton best ball. And I haven't drafted yet. Sorry about this short email, Tyler. I'm live, so I couldn't really type too much, but I appreciate you all. I'll email you after. But Ibuka at 10.9 is, great. Like, you're not going to see that anymore. You're going to probably see him going 5 or 6. But how high would I climb? I'm not taking him in 3 or 4 or anything. Just because you shouldn't yet. And could he be that good? Look, BTJ was the number 4 wide receiver last year as a rookie. And he was not the number 1 wide receiver ranked as a rookie out of the rookie class. He was not the number 2 wide receiver in the rookie class. In many cases, he was the number 4, in some cases number 5 ranked rookie wide receiver by all accounts and everybody out there. He was at least 3, 4, 5. Like, he was not 2, he was not 1. He was 3, 4, 5 for a lot of people. And he finishes the number 4 overall wide receiver. So to assume that, we can't buy Ibuka off of that value or that expectation. I'm just merely saying that if someone thinks you can't earn 6-round value or even like late 5, you most certainly can if he's the guy, which I believe he is. But we also got to be careful not to get too invested in a player that we haven't seen play before. MHJ was the best wide receiver prospect we'd ever seen, and he had kind of a hit and miss year. 8 touchdowns was still very good. But MHJ disappointed very many people, and you just got to be careful you're not getting ahead of your skis. And anything in the 4th or 3rd round is way ahead of your skis. Just like Ted McMillan has no business being in the 3-4 turn. None. 0. Ibuka doesn't deserve to be there either yet because they haven't earned their stripes yet. And anything you overdraft like that, you're running so much risk of, if things go awry, you're done. You're done. You got to draft smartly. And on average, you're going to get Ibuka later. If in the leagues where you don't. You got to play the numbers game. So Ted McMillan and Ibuka, they shouldn't be going in the 3-4 turn. That's ridiculous expectation. And it doesn't mean they can't explode from that value that you're getting, though. But that's why you're winning a league, though. In the league where you're patient and you get Ibuka in 5 or 6, and you're getting Hendy in 3 instead of doing some weird reach, for a guy like that, or Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Somebody on like 2 different platforms yesterday drafted him number 1 overall. Like everyone's spreading around the graphic of it. It's like, I'm sure he did it just to get, some buzz, but people are, in all reality, people are taking him in like the 4th or 5th round in some cases. People are just out of their minds. They go with the wind, bro. You got to be disciplined.
Okay, that sounds good. I think that's about it I got for you. I guess last thing, because obviously I'm in Tampa, so like I said, people are gunning for this guy where I'm at right now. But Debo or Hunter?
I go back and forth on that one myself. And to be honest with you, I think Debo looks so good in that one run. And I know everyone's going to say, why are you okay with Debo's preseason production? And then you rip on Caleb going against 2s and 3s. Why are you, why are you cherry picking this and that? Some of it, you have a good argument. If you're going to say, Smitty, if you're going to do this, you got to do that. I mean, you have a good argument. It doesn't mean I agree with you. Not you specifically. But it's just sometimes, the way I see something, if I see evidence of it in the preseason, it's supporting evidence of what I already feel. Versus like, hey, this happened against 2s and 3s. Does this mean something? Think of preseason play much like the 40 time. The 40 time should not change your opinion that you didn't already, if you were thinking one way, a 40 time should not flip your opinion. The 40 times should be supporting evidence. Hey, I love Worthy. No one sees this guy coming. And then he runs this 40 and you're like, oh my God. And then you're like, it's extra evidence, bro. So you gotta look at things like that. And in terms of Debo and Hunter, Debo's nice 19-yard run shows his involvement, showed his speed, showed his ability to find space. It doesn't matter if there was a wide open gaping hole in that defense. I understand. I'm not a moron. But Debo looked involved. They wanted to get him the ball. He's excited. He's happy. He's in the best shape he's been in some time, regardless of the hate. And Debo could have a stellar year. And right now, we've still got McLaurin holding out, and that's not good. McLaurin is in a bad spot right now. McLaurin is more likely to get injured every day he sits out there. Every day. So, Debo's in for a big year. Now, do I want McLaurin back? Yes, I actually do, because I want Debo to be wide open in space, and McLaurin's going to command attention. And JD5 is going to spread the ball around enough, throwing for maybe 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns. That this is going to be something where someone's going to eat next to Debo. It might as well be McLaurin. I'm not worried about McLaurin eating into Debo's work at all. But what I will tell you is Debo is building a rapport that isn't going to take away from McLaurin. McLaurin and JD5 have a special bond, but maybe Debo wouldn't have been as versed in the offense and as trusted if this hadn't gone down the way it's gone down. So Debo should in turn have a better year. Hunter is more upside, more risk. Debo's Debo's an injury risk too, sure, because he's older, but I think he's happy. I think he's motivated. I think he's healthy. I think they won't run him up the gut, which is going to get him hurt. San Francisco hurts everyone. So everyone judging Debo's injury history is kind of wild, because go to San Francisco right now and look at their roster. Everyone's injured. They continue to hurt all their players. And for people that say it's not San Francisco's fault, it's just bad luck, then why does my boy RSF 49ers Raj say that the team stretches less than any team he's ever seen? And Raj is a physical therapist. So Raj knows a little bit about this, but Raj says they're not stretching. The Broncos come out pregame, stretch for 45 minutes. The Niners come out and just kind of go like this. And then they go out and practice harder than anybody. And so there's rhyme and reason to it. There's Shanahan's offense, there's the practice style, and then there's the no stretching. And everybody acting like Debo is this injury-prone player. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But all I know is he's happy, he's healthy, and he's in an environment that's no longer San Francisco, where everyone's not getting knocked off like flies every single week, every year. But trust your gut on that one, Hunter, Debo. My instinct tells me Hunter, and if you draft Hunter, you can maybe get Debo after Hunter, but we'll see. It depends on what the buzz is looking like at the moment when you're drafting. All right, my boy, I appreciate you. Later. All right, everybody stay muted. Everybody stay muted real quick. Let me just handle this $20 hauler from Craig. Craig!
Alert. Super chat alert.
Craig, my boy. Craig, appreciate you. Craig says, where was I? Let me put Craig's message on the screen. Oh, it's on the marker board. Okay. Craig says 10-man 0.5 dynasty Lamb, Bucky, Burden for London Bijan. Lamb, Bucky, Burden. Lamb, Bucky, Burden for London Bijan. Give me London and Bijan. Well, damn. Damn, bro. I mean, I love Bucky so much, and Lamb is... it's pretty dead even. Chat, can you help out on this one? Weigh in. I mean, the fact that Bijan's, significantly, but not that significantly higher than Bucky, because I love Bucky. We're talking about running back 1 and running back 4 for me. Maybe even running back 3. And London's wide receiver 5 or 4, and then Lamb's 2 or 1. So it's very similar. I'd probably say give me Bijan and London. I just think London's going to ball, bro. And not that Lamb won't, but London's he could be the number 2 or 3 wide receiver this year. So, chat, vote on that one, please. But, Craig, you're not doing anything wrong by keeping Lamb, Bucky. Burden's okay to throw in. I don't mind just throwing him in to get a deal done. But what's the chat think? Can you weigh in on this, chat? Give me your vote on this one. And Travis, what are you thinking on that one?
Lamb, Bucky, Burden, London, and Bijan. I mean, I like the London Bijan side better.
Yeah.
What did you say?
That's what I said, but I go back and forth. Even right now, I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, it's close.
Yeah, it's close. It's close.
I just think Bijan is still ahead of Bucky. I mean, he's my number 1. And then I think London can rival Lamb.
Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking. All right, good stuff. Agree. 25, thank you for the super chat. Dynasty 1 QB sending Hampton and Juwan Johnson receiving Breece Hall, T-Law, Algier. No. Context, only QBs are Purdy and Russ. If it's 1 QB, though, no. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Purdy's serviceable. I don't want him as my starter, but I'm not trading my Hampton to solve my quarterback problem. And I like Hall a lot, but no way I'm giving up the years that you're going to have with Hampton. And Hall has, got a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
While I like him, it's like he was
not good enough.
You can't do that. Go get Penix Jr. on the
quarterback.
Penix Jr. is one of the cheapest quarterbacks right now, bro. You should be able to get something done. And maybe even consider trading fab dollars. I don't know if you can do that in your league, but all right, let me go over to the phone callers here. Let's go over to Scotty Doo. Scotty Doo, you're live.
Hey, man, aloha, dude. After this blockbuster Neighbors trade, I need some help. I need some running back help, dude.
Okay.
Can I read you off the team now that I made the trade?
Yes, go ahead. Make it as fast as you can, man. I got a full phone line.
Okay, so my wide receivers are St. Brown, AJ Brown, Higgins, and Neighbors.
Okay.
My running backs are Harvey, Charbonnet. Then I got a bunch of bench pieces that, like Jarquez Hunter, Braylon Allen, Taj Brooks, Dobbins, Mitchell.
Okay.
But somebody is offering me. He says he'll give me Amarion Hampton for Neighbors, but he has Bigsby. I mean, I really don't need Neighbors. I need another running back. I pretty much got Neighbors for Walker.
Yeah, you did steal him away, but you can't then flip Neighbors and let this guy, rake you over the coals. Like, Neighbors is a first rounder. Hampton's a borderline top 15 player in Dynasty, but very good. But I don't know that we're drafting Hampton around 1 yet in a Dynasty startup. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, what are you getting? Bigsby's not cutting it. You need something significant. I
mean, I'm just looking at the draft board, and a lot of guys.
Trade AJB. Trade AJB for Hampton. If he doesn't want to do that, then you could do a St. Brown for Hampton and maybe even get a little bit something back. But either way, St. Brown's worth more than Hampton. Neighbors is worth way more than Hampton, and AJB's worth less than Hampton. So maybe you're giving AJB in something to get Hampton, but you can't be trading Neighbors for Hampton unless you're getting a significant player. It's just not equal.
Yeah, man. Or you guys just roll with the running backs I have, so it's not really much.
I mean, no, I'm saying go get active and try and make a trade. But I mean, go get Hendy. Trade St. Brown for Hendy.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
I mean,
you're not worried about Neighbor's health, man? I mean, I kind of am. That's why I've never drafted him, really.
Yeah, I mean,
I love his talent.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. His toe, there's a high likelihood they shut him down this year. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but at week 14's end, they might be like, let's have his toe surgery now. He needs toe surgery. He has to have toe surgery. This is not something he'll get over. So, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You don't just, because of that, you don't just trade him for Hampton. You got to get something else.
What about Chase Brown, or even what about Chase Brown for like AJ Brown or St. Brown?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can do those straight up. Yes, sir.
All right, Smitty. All right, thank
later.
you.
Yeah, later, bro. Yeah, you could definitely take Chase Brown over Amon-Ra, like if you wanted. They're going at the same territory in a redraft. 319, you're live, and then I'll go over to the 719, and then I'll go over to the other caller that's also on hold. So go ahead. What did I say?
Smitty, how we doing?
What's up, man?
Doing well, doing well. I got a question for you. So I'm in a long-time league where we do 16 teams. Everybody is into the weeds on all the breaking news and things like that, so everybody knows what's going on. But this year we're adding a change where we're going super flex, where there's a second QB option. What kind of approach would you take just as far as approaching the draft? Do QBs of the top tier automatically go to round one? What do you think?
Well,
Draft 2 QBs in a row.
In Superflex, my strategy is always to go QB in round one. And then if, let's say, Mahomes is gone, who usually falls to like 8. So do you know your pick?
No. So we're doing the lottery this week, and then we're drafting on the 31st.
Okay. So if you get a pick 1 through 8, you probably should be covered getting at least Mahomes. But you grab a quarterback no matter what. But Penix Jr., Cam Ward are the league-winning later quarterbacks to grab, and then just go running back, wide receiver shopping as long as you can, and just press your luck without losing Penix Jr. and without losing Cam Ward. Grab one of them. My preference would be Penix Jr. I've seen people get Penix Jr. as their second quarterback in round 6. I've seen them do it in 5. I've seen people that have to do it in 4. You're going to have to go off a mixture of the feel as the quarterbacks fly off the board, and you're kind of like looking at Penix Jr. as like the 5th or 6th ranked one, and they're starting to go. You need to act on it. But I've also seen, people wait forever. It just kind of depends. I can't really give you good advice, to be honest, on a Superflex because everybody's group thinks differently. Some of people are very quarterback-minded. Other people are not. Ricky dropping 5 gifted memberships. Rick, appreciate you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that call in and go, nobody drafts a quarterback early. Then people call in and go, everybody grabs their second quarterback by the end of round 3. They're all gone. So I have no idea how to help you. You gotta really read the board and read the vibe. But don't let Penix Jr. get too close to the top of the quarterback ranks before you strike. And then you win your league. So Penix Jr. in Mahomes or Penix Jr. Burrow win a league.
I like what you're saying because, to be honest, I think Atlanta offense, like you've been mentioning this week, is going to go crazy. For some number 2 type of guys, in regular best ball, I love your, say, a Dak or a Stroud. As you said, Penix as well. Are there any other late round guys that you like as much as you do Penix, like maybe even Trevor Lawrence?
No, I like Trevor Lawrence, but not as much as Penix Jr. I mean, I just told you Penix Jr. and Cam Ward are the league winners. Penix Jr. mostly. It's Penix Jr., bro. I mean, Kyler falls, sure. I like Kyler a lot too, but Penix Jr. is literally so far down. It doesn't make any sense, bro. It doesn't even make sense. He is such an elite quarterback potential. He's got a cannon on his arm. His confidence is through the roof. The way this man talks, I feel I would follow him into battle. I would follow him into battle. The way he commands a podium or just a group of soldiers, bro, just marching them onto the field and just I believe in him. I believe in Penix Jr. He's such a leader. It's everything that you want your quarterback to be. You know, this is what I think Ben Johnson wants out of Caleb, and this is what Bo Nix can be for Denver. This is what Drake May is for New England. But man, I completely am bought into not only the system and the surrounding weapons, but what Penix Jr. is going to become. And bought in is even hard to say because I've been touting Penix Jr. since before the national championship game on the channel and put him on, I believe he was the second or third Moon Man to grace the Moon Man list that rookie year. And while it took a long time for him to get into his positioning, like we were right on that from the jump. Penix Jr. was he should have been higher than what he was drafted, number 9 overall. He's a phenom. Just wait. So the answer is no. Penix is
I totally agree.
All right, I got to go, bro. I got
totally
a lot of calls.
Agree, and I think Kyle Pitts this year, he's going to be unlocked.
Absolutely.
The first time he's had a real quarterback since the ghost of Matt Ryan.
Bro, Kyle Pitts is one of the biggest steals in fantasy at the late
Yes,
round
sir.
because he's free. He's free. This guy's had 1,000-yard season before. I know we've been disappointed in him, and everyone's like, you can't trick me again. There's no tricking to be done because he's going practically for free. To stack Penix Jr. and Kyle Pitts in best ball is phenomenal, and it's fun to do it in redraft, even though it's not necessarily helpful to stack. But on potent offenses, it doesn't hurt you because they're always going to bring the thunder. All right, got to go, bro. Appreciate you. All right, next caller.
You're the man, Smitty.
Thank you. Next caller is 719. Michael? Is it Michael?
Yo.
Michael, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
I'm good.
So it's year 4 of a $100 Dynasty League. I haven't placed higher than 6th, but I want to give you my team and see what you think, because I think I can actually crush these guys this year, and it's all about
read it off
rights.
as fast as you can, because I got a completely booked phone line here, bro. So I got to move through these quickly. All right, go. Read it off fast. Rapid fire.
All right, Mahomes. It's 1 QB. Mahomes, Gibbs, Bucky, London. I just traded AJB for Rice, so we got Rice, MHJ, Kelsey, Kyron Williams in the flex, and I have Penix on the bench, Ray Davis on the bench, Garendo on the bench, Harvey on the bench, Rashard Smith, Sean Tucker, Ridley, Judy, Tillman.
Okay, you got it, bro.
Arroyo,
You got it.
Yeah.
No offense, but no one wants to hear the whole thing. You got it. Go ahead. What can I do for you? It's a great team. Fantastic. Smitty built team. Love it.
Do I just hold? Because I made some move. Like I said, I traded for AJ Brown, and that's like I don't want to do anything else.
You didn't sit on it. Just sit on it. But I'm personally not a big fan of AJ Brown this year. That's what this whole video is about. I mean, that's why we went live.
Yeah, exactly.
But you traded for AJ Brown, you said?
I traded AJ Brown away, and they were clowning me.
What did you get?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I got Rashee Rice and a 3rd and a 4th.
And this is Dynasty?
Yeah.
Why would anybody clown on somebody for trading an older player like AJ Brown, who will not get you anything 1 calendar year from today? You will be unable to trade AJ Brown in 1 calendar year. Unable, and he got Rashee Rice and some picks. Bro, you crushed that trade.
Yeah, they all think he's going to get 8 weeks or 10 weeks or
who cares?
Whatever.
It's a dynasty, you said. It's a dynasty.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I want to win this year, but I still think I can win this year.
Yeah, you still could win this year, so don't worry about it, bro. You crushed it. All right, anything else, bro? Nice job. Stand pat right now.
Yeah,
wait it out. If you cook up something, bring it to me, and I'll let you know whether I do it.
And I traded for Kelsey. I think I gave up a second, and I got him to give me $105, and I just traded away Jonu for $105. So now I have $600, while everyone else has $400 or less. So we're ready to go.
Who's out on the waiver wires? Anybody that you might want to do? Full low droppage.
I'm kind of waiting to see what happens because they're kind of in the know. Like JCM is picked up, Rodriguez is picked up, Isaiah Bond is picked up, and we have a taxi squad. So there's not a lot on there, but whenever it comes up,
Richard Smith, Keith Mitchell, Ollie Gordon, all those. Okay.
Yeah.
Tesla's good grab. Thornton, Pat Bryant. Okay. I'm not saying full low drop on all those guys. I'm just saying those are guys to look at. All right, got to go, bro. Call back if you got another, especially if you have like some sort of trade I can look at. All right, later, bro. Let me go to the 231 caller. You're live. What's your name?
What's up, Smitty?
What's your name and where you calling from? 231.
It's Gump, Smitty.
Oh, Gump. I got to enter you in the system. What's up, What's up, Gump?
All right, this is where I'm at right now.
I'm so down.
I got Mims.
Uh-huh.
And then they're saying that Franklin's going to take over Mims, dip into his. And then...
No, they're not. They're not saying that, Gump. That's not what the report is. But people might be...
No Franklin?
Franklin, they like what Franklin's bringing to the table, but Mims is certainly in a better position than Franklin. But keep going. Go ahead.
Who's better? Okay, then who's better, Josh Downs or Mims?
I mean,
with Danny Dimes throwing to Josh Downs now.
Who's better? I like Downs, but I don't know that I'm there.
Low scoring offense.
I mean,
low scoring offense.
Here, Gump, let me answer. I think that Downs is probably safer, and the metrics look really good based on last year, but this is a cluster over there. And I probably say at the end of the day, I think Mims will outscore them, but they're both good. They're both got their pros and cons. There's negatives, there's positives. Hard to say.
They're saying that Mims is going to have a wow year.
You keep saying, hey, what about what I say, Gump? You keep calling in and tell me, but you keep calling into my show and tell me what they say. I don't need to know what they say. We're talking about Mims is a baller. Mims was a top 5 wide receiver per start in the final 6 games of the season when it's the only time they actually used him. So I love what we've seen out of Mims. Josh Downs is a nice player, but A.D. Mitchell's there, Pittman's there. Quarterback situation I don't trust. Is it a good conducive environment to have an elite wide receiver rise up? Not really. Mims could absorb 10 touchdowns real easily over in Denver, and he's kind of like almost like a wide receiver joker. Like, it's wild. I could see Sean Payton coming out and playing on the joker thing and saying, we got 5 jokers. we got Mims, we got Ingram, we got Harvey, we got everybody. But Mims is really, really solid. And the fact that Mims exploded at the end of the year, exploded. He was a top 5. Travis, what was it again? Wide receiver 5? 7? I think it was 7.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
He was wide receiver.
Mims isn't going to be your top 2 receiver either. So go for the upside in Mims because you probably have 2 receivers at least that you're starting over Mims already. Go for the upside.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rodriguez is green right now.
Rodriguez is green right now. What's that mean, Gump? What do you mean green?
That means Washington running back green.
What?
Yeah, he's available.
Green. You mean there's a little green
light?
light?
Green on waivers. Like,
is he online?
Red.
Yeah.
He's online right now? He's available?
No, he's green.
He's on red?
The green plus button to add him.
Yeah,
Are
he's
you
Green Plus.
are you on Instagram and you stalking him and you see his little green little lit
I
lit
don't know
up?
who I'm stalking, but man, I
Online.
gotta win.
He's sitting online. You're stalking him. He's available. He's green.
No.
I get to see. I can see the DMs with he's DMing him right now, and it says red, and there's no reply. Red. If Gump had my phone number, he would text me, and I'd see red. He'd just see red all the time, no response. Red. Water Gump.
Give me an update on Mr. Green Rodriguez. Is he any good?
I mean, he's a decent cuff, maybe. But it's your Corey Krosky Merritt's team. Now, will they share carries? It's hard to say. But JCM's, the investment, they're going to give him a shot. And he obviously responded. So did Rodriguez. But more importantly, that offense, line's going to block well. There's going to be, no stacked boxes because there's 85. So that's kind of the takeaway is that Rodriguez did well, JCM did well, and they're both going to do well. No matter who's in there, they're going to do well. But I think you could cuff them if you wanted. Hard to cuff a player like Rodriguez if you don't have a big, huge bench. But let's say you got JCM in Dynasty, you could grab Bill and Rodriguez. But Rodriguez is a handcuff. The expectation is he will be the handcuff, maybe, to Bill. But we're not going to pick up Rodriguez and expect him to be the starter,
Okay, and then
last thing, Gump, and then I got to go.
Okay, well, this is it. I didn't even know all this stuff about McCaffrey, that he had the stem cell, and they say, whatever, he's got the stem cell, and Garendo really is useless. Is that true, or what's going on? Is McCaffrey that?
Finish him.
It continues to tell me they tell me this, they tell me that. Yes, McCaffrey went and had some stem cell therapy, but that doesn't fix the damage of your body over the course of, years and years of abuse. And then they say Garendo's useless. What they say is useless, Gump. This, they say, I heard this, they say. Don't worry about what they say. Garendo, I just did a show on it. So go back and watch what I said about Garendo. Because I didn't say anything of the sort. I don't care what they say about Garendo, Gump. I just did a video on Garendo. So who cares what they say? Every time you tell me they say this and I'm saying something different, what do you think I'm going to say? They say, they don't know nothing. Garendo has to stay healthy, though. Garendo can be a league winner again this year like he was last year. Garendonites would unite around him.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah. We have to. Let's go. Start the procedure.
Yeah, John, look at that. Yeah, that looks great, Kyle. Look at him.
Garendonites, unite!
Let me see real quickly. Gump, appreciate you. 828, what's your name and where are you calling from, 828? Oh, I guess 828 hung up. Or maybe I hung up on the other caller and that was Gump. No, the Gump was an 828. Gump was the... Okay, yeah, I did hang up on Gump. Okay.
He's 231, yeah.
Caller, call in if you want to call back. $20 hauler from Christopher dropping the wad.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Yeah, hit the like button. 653 of you still in here on a 2.5-hour show. We'll probably be maybe wrapping it up soon. I don't know. Here's the 828 caller. 828, you're live. But just hold on 1 second if you don't mind. Let me read this $20 super chat real quickly. 8-man PPR got offered my MHJ and Ingram for Hendy. I take Hendy. But mute yourself real quick, caller. There's a lot of... I don't know if you're wrestling somebody right now, but My team is Mahomes, Bijan, Bucky, CD, Rice, MHJ, McBride, Igbuka, Debo, Harvey, Hunter, Little Bill, Scattaboo, Tank Bigsby. Love the team. Send it and pick up Tootin with the extra roster spot. With your team having McBride, I could get behind this. I love Ingram. I love MHJ. Hendy is higher ranked in my mind than both of them, obviously. Ingram's a steal and a value, but I take this, especially with how loaded your team is. In 8-man leagues, the only way to trade is to oversupply. Give a deal that looks ridiculous, because guess what? Your waiver wire is just bleeding with talent. And yes, you think about it from the perspective of you put Tootin into this trade. Like, hey, Smitty, will you take Hendy and Tootin for MHJ and Ingram? I'm like, hell yeah, bro. I'm not even thinking about it. So when you consider the 8-man league and the 10-man league have such plentiful waiver wire options, you got to inject that player into the trade and then evaluate the trade that way. Don't worry about what they're getting. Worry about what it does for your team. Even if you're overpaying. The best way to make a trade is to overpay in a 10-man, 8-man league. Because everybody's got loaded rosters. Look at your roster. It's loaded. But yeah, hammer this trade. Get Tootin. At the end of the day, Hendy and Tootin are better than MHJ and Ingram, especially for your team. Smitty mother freaking approved.
You've just been Smitty.
And I appreciate your super chat. And on top of that, bro, I mean, how much better is it going to be to watch this every day when we press it?
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Super chat here from Bees. Appreciate you. Loveland or Warren and Dynasty. Give me. Actually, let me pause on this and get some perspective. Travis, what are your thoughts, real quickly before I go to the caller? What are your thoughts on objectively looking at Loveland versus Warren, given Warren lives in a chaotic whirlwind of an environment, but one that could still lean on the tight end? And look at Bowers in a horrible spot last year, still balled out. Warren comes from college with a capability of designed runs like no other, or designed plays like no other. Basically, I don't want to say every play, but it felt like every play Warren was involved in where he got the ball, it was designed for him. And they might. Yeah. So I think he's almost like situation proof. But then again, Shane Steichen is the one making decisions, and I'm questioning the hell out of what he's doing. So I would lean Warren myself, but am I not being objective here with Loveland's capabilities?
I'm still Warren, like in 1-for-1 without a team. I like Warren better than Loveland, but the way I look at it is Loveland is going to need a better quarterback to truly be like a top 5 or top 10 every year.
Yeah. And while
he's a really good runner.
Yeah.
I think both of them don't have a quarterback.
Chat, vote on this one. Loveland or Warren. Yeah, I look, there's a lot of mouths to feed in Chicago too. And so rotationally, I don't know if it's going to be different than sporadically bad play. You know, both of them are going to have some rotationary moments. The way I look at it is this. I didn't have Loveland better than Warren before the draft. I didn't have Loveland better than Warren after the draft, and nothing has really changed. So for me, Warren, I just want to make sure. I know everyone likes Loveland a lot, and I'm not saying I don't like him. I just think that Warren has the capability of being a lot better. He's just a much better player, in my opinion, for fantasy. Chase Brown, Bucky, Henry, London, pick one. Bucky. In a vacuum, Bucky. But if you need a wide receiver, I'm not opposed to London. Of course, I love Chase Brown too. They're all really close. Henry's, fourth on the list for me. But if I had to pick one, I would say PPR, full PPR, you need safety, London. Full PPR even, or half PPR especially, but full PPR, and you need upside, and you're willing to risk it a little bit, scare money, don't make money kind of thing, then Bucky for me, but really, really close. All right, caller, thank you for waiting. 828, what's your name and where are you calling from, 828?
Angry Bruce. I'm the volume guy.
Oh, angry Bruce. Is that what we're calling you, Angry Bruce? Okay, Angry
Yes.
Bruce. Well, yeah, you're
I
the guy
love
that
your
thinks.
show, by the way, and I'll say this for whatever it's worth. If you're in a waiver wire league, this is the show to turn into because he gives you the news first. So let's go.
There you go. Hey, Bruce, I appreciate that. It's going to be harder to yell at you now. That's a very solid veteran move of you right now to drop some love to the show right before we get into an argument. Fantastic deployment.
You're the man.
I know.
You
That's what I'm
saved
saying.
my league
That's what I'm
this
saying. That's what I'm saying, Bruce. How am I going to argue with that now? But what I'll tell you this is you earlier you said that Harvey won't get the volume. Number one, you don't know that. You don't know that. You could say hold on. I'll let you have the rebuttal after. But here's why you don't know that. You don't know. You're making an assumption that because J.K. Dobbins got brought in, that means something. And I know he's a good player, but he also was one of the worst players in the league last year at the position from after his second game played on. He averaged 3.8 yards per carry from his third played game all the way through the entirety of the season. So bad that they abandoned the run in LAC and decided to throw the ball at the goal line, which Harbaugh never does. They didn't bring him back. The team could have signed him before the NFL draft, and they didn't. That tells you something right there. They drafted Harvey. Sean Payton was gushing over him. Couldn't believe he fell. Took a big gamble to wait. Drafted Harvey, and he's been nothing but spectacular the entire time he's been there. Okay, the entire time he's been there. So there's no reason to say then, well, if they liked him so much, they wouldn't got J.K. because they're worried. No, they got J.K. after they drafted Harvey. They did not rush to go get him. They didn't care if they got him, didn't get him. It's a depth piece. Now, there's no concern about third down usage, pass protection, which is what everybody putters out there and acts like that means something. That means zero. That means zero. You know why? Because Sean Payton already said he's not leaving the field when he's on the field. He's going to be out there on third down. And so people saying, well, he can't pass protect. Sean Payton's already answered the question. You know what Sean Payton said? On third down, he's getting the ball.
Alvin Kamara, I get the Kamara thing. I get it. But I'll say this for whatever it's worth. J.K. Dobbins, can we both agree he's a walking damn injury?
Yes.
He's just like JT.
He's the most injury-prone player in the National Football League. And let me also say this. Not once in the history of the NFL has an Achilles torn running back ever become or returned to the top 10 after an Achilles tear. Ever. And it's going to be JK, Mr. Walking Injury. So tell me, why is the volume not going to be there for a Sean Payton running back that fed Kamara 81? Hold on. He fed Kamara 81 receptions his rookie year. He fed Kamara 81 receptions his second year. Kamara had 81, 83 receptions back-to-back years in his first 4 years. And Darren Sproles, all the players that have had success under Sean Payton, and Sean Payton saying to everybody when they ask him, what about the pass protection? What about the pass protection? He's literally answered it 100 times. No one's listening. He said, on third down, Harvey's not leaving the field. Why? Because he's getting the ball. I'm getting the ball into Harvey's hands on third down.
My thing is, I think he's more. I agree with you. Like Harvey
but
is
you don't.
a superstar.
Then,
but until Dobbins tears his Achilles, because we can both agree on that shit.
Why do you say that? Until Dobbins, what has Dobbins done to earn this? What are you talking about? But until Dobbins, this is the draft cap. You're not listening.
For San Diego, Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball. He ran that fucking cracker into the dirt. You know it.
No, he abandoned the run.
But
I don't know what he's saying. Anyway, first of all, I don't know what he's talking like that on the phone line. Look, the bottom line is, for people that aren't paying attention, J.K. Dobbins was run into the dirt. Well, he didn't do well. He averaged 3.8 yards per carry after his 2 played games to his 3rd game on. So J.K. Dobbins played like trash. And so you think because J.K. Dobbins, until J.K. Dobbins, that's such a lazy take, Bruce. Such a lazy take. Well, until J.K. Dobbins is injured, he's not. Why? Tell me why. Why is J.K. Dobbins going to start over Harvey? You're not listening to what the head coach is saying. You're not listening. For some reason, these pro J.K. Dobbins supporters, they're not listening. I'll give you one more try. Watch your language and how you speak on the phone line, but real quickly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, that's your only warning. But what are you? What makes you think? What makes you think they're turning to J.K. Dobbins?
Well, because they didn't draft him or anything like that. Like you said, he's a free agent move. J.K. Dobbins, I'll say this, whatever it's worth, healthy, scary. Scary as fuck.
Are you? There he goes. He's done. Your phone line.
Finish him.
You're done. Bruce, you say you love the show. You say the waiver wire is great. And then you keep repeating yourself. J.K. Dobbins is scary. You're right. He averaged 3.8 yards per carry and was the worst running back in the league from his 3rd played game all the way through the season. The worst starting running back in the National Football League. And you keep repeating. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I just told you he's not scary. All right. Jeez. Travis, anything else?
No, I'm good. I'll be back later. You're taking the night off.
Yeah. God, it's so late already. I think we'll be back. It just might not be at midnight. It might be like more like 12:30, 12:45. All right. I'll see you tonight. Travis, appreciate you. All right, guys, I am out of here. Super chats, thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you, Christopher, for the 20. Thank you, Craig, for the 20. Thank you, Brofist Brad. Thank you, Tyler, for the freaking 40 and the $99 super chats. Thank you, Tyler, for the $20 super chat. Tyler's dropping wads all over the place. We got him on the Patreon, by the way. We got Tyler on the Patreon. He's there to stay. Tyler's there to stay.
Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a Hot Pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick.
Let him cook.
Anybody else wants to get on the Patreon, 24/7, 365 live chat group. This is the link to get into it. I'll drop it right here. Get into the live chat Patreon, 365, 24/7. In fact, I'm going to go over there right now and show you what I do. So after a show's over, I said, Tyler, welcome. And in that message, Vader said, welcome. Rocket emojis. The Beard said, welcome. Sick Nasty said, welcome. DJ said, welcome. Eric said, welcome. Cap said, welcome. And then Christopher said, welcome, Tyler. Look at the warm welcome that Tyler got right there. And Tyler said, thank you for everybody. Just fire emojis everywhere on his message saying thank you. This is just what the Patreon is all about right here. Just unbelievable group of people. Love this group of people. It's 365, 24/7 live chat group. And I'm going to write in here at the bottom, start a new topic in the Patreon in the general chat and say, any host 8 p.m. show topics, boom. And so drop them in new messages if you want. So boom, I put that up there. That's up there on the Patreon. That link is in the live chat pinned. I'm going to pin it right now. Actually, I'm not going to pin it right now. I'm going to put the Underdog link in the live chat because tonight we'll be drafting on Underdog. Here's the link on Underdog. Do it live. Join Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Here's the link. Boom. I'm going to pin that link to play in a draft tonight with us. To draft with us tonight, you have to hit this link and get signed up or you're not going to get in on time. So smash that link. Appreciate all my super chatters. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you to my moderators. I'll see you all tonight. Appreciate you. What are we going to hit on the way out the door? How about this?
Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Genty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Genty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks.
See you all on the Patreon. See you all in about an hour and a half, maybe. Deuce. Thank you for my gifted memberships as well. Celebratory message by Lunchbox, 33 months. Only show I choose to pay for. Thank you, Smitty. Hey, Lunchbox, you still there? Lunchbox, appreciate your message. I usually do the celebratory messages at the end. There's no way to even see them until the end anyway. I'm sorry about that, but know that I'll try and get to them at the end of each show. Gifted memberships. We had Dooney dropping 10. Dooney, you there? Dooney, thank you. BBQ dropping 50. And then Rick dropped 5. So Rick, are you there? BBQ, are you there? And Dooney, are you there? I appreciate you guys dropping these gifted memberships, and everybody in the chat appreciates it too. See you all in an hour and a half.